Marshall, Sedalia, and Fayette. Heinzler Brothers in Marshall. The WK family of dealerships in Sedalia and Boonville. Community Bank in Marshall, Blackburn, Malta Bend, Waverly, and Sweet Springs. Shelter Insurance, agents Terry Townsend in Marshall, Troy Brockman in Concordia, and Russell Kirby in Slater. And Central Missouri Agri-Service.
The Missouri Valley College Vikings scored on the first two possessions of the game last Saturday and rolled to a 35-14 homecoming victory over the Avila Eagles. After the Viking defense held the Eagles to a 3-and-out on their first possession, Valley running back Kenny Sanford didn't waste any time getting to the end zone.
And on first down, he gives it off to Sanford. Kenny up the sideline to the 30, to the 40. He races to the midfield. The foot race is on. He breaks the tackle at the 20, to the 10. Touchdown, Vikings, an 80-yard run by Kenny Sanford on the first play from scrimmage.
Valley had a halftime lead of 21-7. It scored two more times in the second half on catches by wide receiver Moses Mention. The second one coming with just over 6 minutes left in the game. Collins throws, gets it to Mention, breaks the tackle at the 30, makes the move at the 20, sidesteps the defender to 10, and has his second touchdown of the afternoon, Moses Mention. And the Vikings go up 34-7. On the defensive side of the ball, Dedrick Allen led the Vikings with 13 tackles, 2.5 sacks, and he batted down 2 passes. For his effort, he was named the Chitwood winner as the MVP of the homecoming game and was also named the Conference Defensive Player of the Week. Today, the Central Methodist University Eagles will be the Vikings' opponent on Greg Mitchell Field. The Eagles began the season with a win over Culver Stockton, but they've lost their last 6, including a 41-28 homecoming loss last Saturday to Evangel. The Vikings have won the last 12 meetings in this series. Central Methodist at Missouri Valley, and our coverage starts right now. And a pleasant good afternoon and welcome to Missouri Valley College. We are in Volney Ashford Stadium, Greg Mitchell Field, as the Missouri Valley College Vikings take on the Central Methodist University Eagles. Good afternoon. I'm Ken Quiaba, Joe all alongside. And Joe, believe it or not, since 1946 in this series, the Vikings are 49-3-1 against Central Methodist. 49-3-1 since 1946.
I knew the Vikings had held an edge recently, but I didn't know it was that dominating. But, you know, this is one of those games. It's a rival game, and it's sometimes you throw the records out and anything can happen. And, you know, the Eagles would like nothing better than to come in here and get a win on the road against the Vikes. So the Vikes need to bring their A game today.
And some of those games have been close. The last CMU win was in 2004. The teams did not play from 1955 to 67. And then you remember the Eagles left the Heart of America Conference for a few years, 87 through 91. The Heart started in 1971. They came back in 92. But the Vikings have dominated that series, but still there have been some very close contests in this series between these two.
Let's remember the last time Central Methodist came here 2 years ago is a game where the Vikings turned the ball over quite a few times, and Central had some chances to win that game, and the Vikes scored at the end to win it. So never know. Jody Ford was the head coach of the Eagles. The Vikings turned it over 6 times. Let's take a look at the standings. In the South, Baker, Evangel, and Missouri Valley all 1-0. Of course, Baker ranked number 2 in the country at 7-0. Mid-American Nazarene 0-1, Avila 0-1, and CMU
CMU 0-1. CMU won that first game over Culver. So Baker, Evangel, and Missouri Valley all tied for the top spot in their division. In the north, Grandview, Benedictine, and William Penn all 1-0. Peru State, Graceland, and Culver 0-1. Culver, the only team in the league not to win a game. They are 0-7. Grandview and Benedictine atop the 6-1. So the powers to be, I guess, are at the top of each division as we play in week 2. We'll take a look at the games in the conference in just a moment. In the top 25, St. Francis, the defending national champs, they do remain number 1. Baker, number 2. I was talking to Nate Chitwood, the referee for today's game. He has seen Baker a couple times. He said when they get that offense rolling, they're a juggernaut. So interesting. They'll be here in 2 weeks. Other teams, Grandview is ranked number 6. They've stayed in that 6, 7, 8 spot throughout the year. And Benedictine, as you can see, moved up to the number 12 spot now. They are 6-1. So those are the teams in the conference. Joe, let's take a look at the games today. William Penn will be at Peru. That's the 11 o'clock game, so we should get a final on that one shortly. As William Penn at Peru, and I imagine this wind is affecting everybody today. But that game may be over. Those two teams both like to run the ball. That may have been over by noon.
You know, I was kind of surprised at how badly Grandview beat Peru State last week. And I guess they played that game on Sunday. I think they maybe had some bad weather. I didn't see the score on the website.
What happened? They played on Saturday. They started, and then they had a 2.5-hour weather delay. They started at noon. They didn't start the second quarter until about 4:30.
Wow. Talk about getting rusty.
Yeah.
But Peru State needs a win if they want to stay in the hunt, and they've got a good team, so that should be a very competitive game.
Culver's at Benedictine, no secret there. The Ravens are rolling this year. CMU's here today. Evangel at Mid-American Nazarene. Interesting ball game there.
I think Evangel's been one of the surprise teams of the conference. They played pretty well. They went 3-3 against the Northern Division, and then won their game last week against Central Methodist. So they come in at 4-3. So we'll see them next week.
And also Grandview at Graceland. You've got to go with Grandview there, even though Graceland is the home team. And then Baker at Avila, the same there. I mean, this Baker team, early on, they had to make some plays to win some tough ball games, Joe. But right now, it appears they are on a roll. I guess the Mid-America defense kept them in the game last week, and in the second half, that offense got rolling. It was no contest.
Well, and last year we went out to Baker next to the last game of the season, and everybody was talking about how good they were, and they were good. They finished second in the nation, but Vikes played them dead even and really had a chance to win that game last year. So looking forward to that game in a couple weeks, but we got a couple games to take care of before that.
All right. When we come back in just a moment, we're going to talk things over with David Calloway. He is the second-year head coach of the CMU Eagles. That visit's coming up in 1 minute on the Viking Sports Network.
One undeniable truth is that agriculture will always change. MFA is more than 100 years old, and we've seen a lot of changes over the years. But some things don't change, like MFA's commitment to its farmer owners and their communities. MFA does business where you live. Our employees are part of your community, and we know that for us to succeed, you need success first. Count on MFA, your Missouri-based cooperative, for the input, service, and expertise you need to farm.
On the Viking pregame show.
There's an Orange Opportunity sales event going on now at your local Kubota dealer. Get an M6 tractor with your choice of 4 models, all with Kubota clean diesel engines, IntelliShift transmissions, and more. Now get financing as low as 0% APR for up to 84 months. See your local Kubota dealer today, now through December 31st, 2017. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more information. See Marshall Service Company, 1714 Commerce Drive in Marshall, or call 886-3011.
On the Viking pregame show, visiting now with David Calloway in his second year as the head coach of the Central Methodist University Eagles. And, Coach, going back to last week, your homecoming game, 41-28 loss to Evangel, but they kind of got to you early. After that, it was a pretty close ball game, wasn't it?
Yes, they came out and started fast on us, kind of got out with some good offensive plays and good scheme, and kind of had us fighting uphill for a lot of the game, and we battled back, but still came up short at the end of the day.
I see Caleb Bedford, Coach, 347 yards passing. The young man had quite a ball game for you.
Yes, he got injured early in the year, and he's starting to get back somewhat healthy at this point in the season. He's been doing some things here for the last couple of years for us at the quarterback position. So we're glad to see him kind of, have some success throwing the ball down the field Saturday.
David, I guess he just has to get back in game shape then, I guess, after missing part of the season, doesn't he?
Yeah, because he had to take a couple snaps off Saturday, because he hadn't had a chance to just play, a ton of reps and for a full ball game in a couple of weeks. So, he's still trying to get his legs back and get his cardio back where he can kind of still be effective, snap in and snap out.
Well, I know one thing. That young man can throw the football about as far as anyone I've ever seen at this level. He can throw a long ways, can he?
Yeah, he has a big arm, man, and he does a good job. We're happy to have him.
Coach, how about your defense? How'd your defense play after that first quarter against Evangel?
Well, I think we played solid. We gave up some big plays, got some guys young in some positions, especially primarily in the secondary. So, got some growing pains as far as communication and stuff like that. But, I was pleased with our effort. I was pleased with our assignment for the most part of the game. It's just finishing plays and being more consistent with our eyes and our eye discipline. It's kind of been our main focus with our young guys, and hopefully we can continue to improve and correct the mistakes that we had Saturday moving forward.
Coach, you take on a Missouri Valley team that has won their last couple of ball games. You make the trip to Marshall. What do you know about this Valley team? First of all, the one thing about Valley this year, their defense giving up a lot of yards, and that's kind of uncharacteristic, but that hasn't been the case. What have you seen in that Viking defense?
Well, to us, Kilgore in the middle, he's definitely a difference maker. First person you see when you put in the video. And they do a good job still rallying to the ball. I know Coach Rowe does a good job with their scheme, getting those guys available in free spaces to make plays on the football. So they still have a ton of athletes. They still play with a lot of energy. They still bring a lot to the table that you got to try to protect and prepare against as far as the offensive perspective. So, they may be giving us some points, but they're not short on emotions or playmaking ability is kind of the things that you look for defensively, at least as I do, when you're looking at guys, and they do a good job of still being consistent at those things.
Coach, I guess offensively then what? Contain Jake Bridges? What's your plan against the Viking offense?
Well, yeah, you want to try to contain Jake Bridges, but, the thing about Jake and the rest of the offense, they got enough playmakers that, if you do contain him, he get the ball off, he got enough playmakers that can score from anywhere on the field. So we got to be able to play assignment football, not just on Jake, but across the whole scheme. They do give you a lot of different looks, put you in a lot of stressful situations on your defense from a horizontal defensive standpoint and a vertical standpoint. So we got to make sure that we're dialed in, like I talked about, with our eye discipline, and make sure guys are understanding who their key is in situation and trusting what they see and then rallying to the football from there. Now,
David, LaQuentin Black, Zavon Moore, Jacoby Bellard, you going to get them into the right locker room on Saturday? You're going to remind them that they're on your side now? You've got three really talented young men who used to play for Valley on your staff.
Yeah, they're talented football players, and they're becoming real good coaches. They dedicated to being coaches. On the college and high school level,
probably Callaway.
Program at this point.
I'm guessing maybe Callaway.
Understanding how to
probably
work,
around
understanding,
4.
How to go about their business on the daily grind. So, I was excited to get those guys on the staff and look forward to building this program with those guys as a part of it.
It'll be funny to see them on the other sideline. The coach are all good young men. I'm glad you're giving them the opportunity. David Callaway, who's the head coach of the Central Methodist University Eagles on the pregame show.
And when we come back, we're going to talk about last week's, the reigning Defensive Player of the Week in the conference, Dedrick Allen. He had 13 tackles, 2.5 sacks, and 2 batted balls last week to deserve not only that honor, but the Chitwood Award as the MVP of the homecoming game. That visit coming up in 1 minute on the Viking Sports Network.
Untreated hearing loss has serious emotional and social consequences. Hearing loss is not a harmless condition. Untreated hearing loss can lead to depression, social withdrawal, isolation, and paranoia. In fact, people with untreated hearing loss are twice as likely to have depression, and the worse the hearing, the higher the incidence of depression. I'm Dr. Barbara Burns with AccuQuest Hearing Centers. Common excuses for not being tested are, my hearing isn't bad enough yet, or I get by. Stay in touch with your loved ones and friends. Please call 660-826-0180 to schedule a free, no-obligation hearing test. Improve your quality of life. Come hear what a difference hearing aids can make in your life. Hear what you're missing. AccuQuest Hearing Centers of Marshall, Sedalia, and Boonville. We don't just sell hearing aids, we sell satisfaction.
Viking pregame show. Dedrick Allen joins us, and congratulations on a heck of a week.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Let's talk about last week's game. You had 13 tackles, 2 sacks, and 2 batted balls. That's quite an afternoon.
Yeah, yeah, pretty good day if I say so.
What was the key? What was the key to your success last week?
Just watching film, just knowing what they was gonna do, and just being active, having a high motor, just playing how I've been playing since game 1.
You guys, a little different defense last couple of weeks, right? You're playing that 3-3 stack a little bit, so you guys up front have to get after it, don't you?
Yes, sir. Just 3 men up front. I mean, not really blitzing as much off the edge with our linebackers and stuff, because one of them in the back, so just up to us and on the D-line just to try to get some pressure on the quarterback.
Let's talk a little bit about your history. How did it come about that you got to Missouri Valley?
I was at my JUCO Sierra, and then I didn't really know where I'd be, and then I just got a call from Coach Rowe, and then they said they were gonna come down to visit me, so I just came down, and he came down to visit me, so then we was talking, and then I just weighed my options and I decided to come here.
All right, and it's been pretty successful for you so far, hasn't it?
Yes, sir.
I think 68 tackles on the year already. I think I was looking at statistics today, so you get in on a lot of plays.
Yeah, just being active, just having a high motor, just moving all around the field.
We didn't get the season off to start as most of us wanted to, but right now, starting to roll a little bit. Still a lot to play for, isn't there?
Yeah, we can still win our division, I believe. So we just keep pushing forward, and anything can happen. Yeah.
I talked to you about being on a pregame show, and I know your dad and some will be watching today. That's important to have that family backing, isn't it?
Yeah, it always is. Just Dad's probably number one dude in my corner, so it's always good to always know that he's just supporting me.
You know he watches, you know he listens. You talk to him each and every game?
Yeah. He's like before the game, he just calls me. He just go over the rundown, and then just tells me they want me to play hard, play with my hands, and all that type of stuff.
Well, let's go get another one today. Go 2-0 in the South Division. All right?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go get. Oh, and by the way, congratulations on being the Conference Player of the Week. That's quite an honor.
I appreciate it. Yeah. I think this is the second time this season, so it's just cool to know that the work I'm just putting in practice and off the field and stuff is just being appreciated.
Dedrick Allen, he is our Player of the Week. In a moment, we're going to talk it over to Brian Hiller, offensive line and offensive coordinator for the Vikings. That's in a minute on the Viking Sports Network.
Is a tireless job, constantly defending against monsters in the closet. So tall it swallows small children. But who's there for them if you're not? Your local Shelter Insurance agent. With an insurance superhero sidekick, you can find a life insurance plan that helps provide a safety net for your family. Learn more at shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Find super agents Russell Kirby in Slater, Terry Townsend in Marshall, or Troy Brockman in Concordia. For welding or fabrication, call
Ernie, Bob, and Homie.
the muscle behind the madness at Heinzler Brothers in Marshall. These guys do it all. From a simple welding job to major repairs, call
Ernie, Bob, and Homie.
They may not be pretty, but they're witty and can design and make anything out of metal. Big or small, they weld it all. Steel to aluminum, drive lines to trailer hitches. If you need welding, call
Ernie, Bob, and Homie.
with Heinzler Brothers in Marshall, 886-7775.
The Viking pregame show. Brian Hiller joins us, and Coach, we talked to you in I think week number 2, and here we are in the second half of the season. And my goodness, you keep moving those offensive linemen around, injuries and other reasons.
Yeah, it's pretty much the nature of the beast, Ken. So I think our guys are doing a really good job of next man up. We've had a lot of different situations that have come about, but every time that we have asked the kid to move, it's been obviously a no-brainer, and obviously they are all in terms of whatever they need to do to help the team win. It'd be nice, obviously, to have a perfect cookie-cutter way to doing things, but we have some pretty talented kids here. We're going to see exactly again, and we can make them gel again this week.
A young bunch, so they continue to learn each and every week, don't they?
Yeah, well, we got four freshmen starting for us, so we're going to have another chance to put some things together in terms of attacking CMU with the run and pass emphasis that we do in a balanced fashion here. They're going to throw multiple looks at us, and I think we've had a pretty good week of showing all those various formations and fronts against our kids, and they've responded pretty well to a pretty solid week of practice to this point.
Coach, the skilled people as the offensive coordinator, you've got to love your skilled people. There are a lot of different weapons out there.
Yeah, I don't know if you can really shy away from getting the ball to Kenny Sanford, Dorian, and Jakari, and obviously the guy running the show, Jake Bridges, in the backfield as well. It's definitely a lot of fun just to come to practice and then obviously be able to see these guys do it for real on Saturdays. So it's a great thing for being able to have these kind of student athletes here at Missouri Valley on a day-to-day basis.
What are you going to see out of this Central Methodist defense?
Well, you're pretty much going to see every single front philosophy that is out there. They're going to have a 30 front, which is a three-man front with either four linebackers or three in a stack variety. They're going to run a variation of four-man front against us also, and maybe some eight-man front stuff also. So Coach Calloway is going to bring in, I think, Coach Stewart is the guy that runs the defense over there. So the philosophy is going to remain the same from last year, and they're just going to keep showing multiple things against any formation or personnel group that we put out there.
So I guess then it's kind of a cat and mouse game to see what you can do against those different fronts, right?
Yeah, pretty much. We're pretty confident in the things that we do, and we're going to make sure that we let CMU know what we're going to be doing in terms of formation and how we go ahead and attack those guys, run or pass. So it's just going to be one of those type things. It will be. It's going to be a shell game. It's going to be a cat and mouse game, like you're saying as well. But we have definitely exposed our kids to those things on a daily basis, not only with Monty running a 3-4 defense or a stack defense in terms of everything we see in practice on a daily basis, but thank goodness we're in a pretty good preparation phase right at this point in time of this week of the season.
So there you have Brian Hiller, the offensive line coach and offensive coordinator for the Missouri Valley College Vikings. And once again, when we take a look at the starting lineups, they've moved some people around. It is a very young offensive line, as you have today 3 freshmen starting, a junior and one senior. So there have been quite a few changes as far as this Viking offense, and we'll give you the starting lineups in just a bit. When we come back in a moment, we're going to talk things over with the head Viking, Paul Troth. That's coming up. 1 minute, Viking Sports Network.
Water damage, smoke damage.
Everything all right?
Play last week, you got the win over Avila. Good way to start it.
Yeah, second half of the season, everybody starts without a loss, and so, I told them we wanted to be one of the 3 teams that were 1-0, and we did that. So now we're on to the next challenge.
Well, how about that start you had last week? Scored in the first 2 drives. In fact, scored on the first play from scrimmage.
Yeah, that was a big run. We did a tremendous job up front blocking, obviously, and Kenny finished it off. But when you start like that was great to see, to get a big play right out the gate.
Coach, second half, a couple drives kind of bogged down, but let's talk about Moses Mention for a moment, because he had his first 2 touchdown catches of the year. He had to be pleasing for that young man.
Well, he's a good receiver. He's young. He's one of our many young guys we have running around out there. He's just a freshman, so he's getting better every week. He's worked hard and great kid. Real happy for him, that he put himself in position, made a couple nice, especially the second one when he made that nice move avoided the tackle and scored from a ways out. So that was a nice play.
And, of course, defensively, Dedrick Allen was named the Chitwood winner. He had a big game. Kilgore had a big game. Defensive line got after it.
Yeah, and, you look at it, we were doing a lot of three-man pressure. So when you're only rushing three people, it's hard to get pressure on the quarterback. And the fact that those guys did what they did and Dedrick had a couple of sacks, I mean, that's just a tremendous compliment to those guys up front. But, those guys worked their tail off all last Saturday and helped get us a W.
Coach, this Eagle team, they're 1-6, defeated Culver to start the year, haven't won since. Tell me a little bit about their defense.
Well, they're a better team than their record. They played without their quarterback, probably their top two quarterbacks for a stretch of games, and that's tough to do. So they got him back, and he's playing well. He's a senior. He's got a strong arm. Defensively, they just really do a lot, give you a lot of different looks, and they're kind of a bear to prepare for. Matchup wise, we feel like we can be okay, but they do so many things that you just worry about the mental mistakes and the missed assignments because of all the movement they use and the different looks they give you.
Coach, a little different week. Of course, it's fall break Thursday and Friday. Has that changed the routine at all?
Yeah, we moved our practice up to Thursday morning. Our scout team guys that don't have to be at a Friday practice, we wanted to give them a little time off. So we practiced Thursday morning. We still got our same amount of practice time. We did all the same things we do. We just moved it around as far as what time of the day we did it. But, we've had a good week, and it's time to go play.
We talked about at the start of this interview, it's the second half of the season, so there's still a lot to play for.
Yeah, that's the thing is non-division games don't hurt you as far as who, the conference champion is. And certainly we've got a long road ahead of us, but we've only got one game today, and that's all we can play. So we got to turn all our attention and try to find a way to be 1-0 today and stay up atop of the rankings.
So there you have the comments from the head coach, Paul Troth. We'll come back in a moment. We'll have the coin toss, and we'll be ready for football. Central Methodist and Missouri Valley. It's all coming up on KMMO, Marshall, and moval.edu. We're back in a minute with the kickoff.
Football is finally here, and Jennings Premium Meats in New Franklin is ready. Brats, burgers, ribs, pork chops, hot dogs. Whatever you like to grill at your tailgate party, we've got you covered. Serving mid-Missouri for 60 years, Jennings Premium Meats has the freshest selection of meat, we guarantee. Score a touchdown every week at your tailgate party with the help from Jennings Premium Meats in New Franklin. Open 7 to 5, Monday through Friday, Saturdays 8 to 5. Find out more at JenningsPremiumMeats.com.
Just as important as knowing our customers, at Community Bank of Marshall, we want you to know us. Know that we'll answer your questions. Know that we'll serve you with a smile. Know that we have the products you need in today's technology-filled world. Our customers are more than account numbers. They're friends, family, and members of our communities. Community Bank believes in investing in our customers and communities and giving them the service they deserve and the products they need. Community Banking, the way it was meant to be. Member FDIC.
Nate Chitwood, longtime referee, a high school, both football and basketball, high school and college, is the referee for this afternoon's contest. And the CMU Eagles will call the coin toss.
I think the Vikings maybe won the toss, I'm guessing. I don't know.
Well, the Vikings are talking to the Viking captains right now. And I imagine the Vikes will defer. That wind definitely going to be a factor today. It's coming out of the south, and it is strong. So that wind is going to be a factor today, Joe.
Well, it really will. It was last week, but it's blowing even more. Yeah, the Vikings won the toss. They deferred, so it looks like Central Methodist is going to receive. So the Vikings will have the win during the first quarter. And you're right, Ken. It's going to be a factor today. And let's see, maybe take advantage of that win early and get off to a good start.
So the defense will take the field first for the Vikings. And, boy, when you talk about this Viking defense, a few things you don't normally talk about. Number one, giving up 421 yards a game. That's just not characteristic of a Viking defense. This broadcast copyrighted by the Mass Communications Department of the Communications, Humanities, and Human Service Division of Missouri Valley College for the private use of our audience. Any retransmission or the use of the content of this broadcast without the express written consent, Missouri Valley College is prohibited. Transportation considerations provided by Elmer Hereford in Marshall. And Joe and I go on the road covering Missouri Valley College athletic events. We're in a Ford from Elmer Hereford in Marshall. Well, we're ready for football. Second week of the South Division play. The Vikings trying to get back to the 500 mark if they can get a win this afternoon. Austin Johnson will kick it off. The Eagles in their white road jerseys with the green pants. Back deep for the Eagles is Shadrach Alexander, a sophomore running back. And I would expect Johnson would put this one into the end zone with the stiff breeze, but we'll see. Vikings in their purple tops, white pants, and that orange helmet. And here's the kick, and no question, this one sails all the way through the end zone on the fly, and that win is going to be a factor today. So let's take a look at the defense, first of all, for the Vikings. Up front, it's going to be Miles Campbell, Kyraton Kilgore, and Dedrick Allen. That's the front three. The linebackers, Elliott Suter, but he is out. We'll talk about that. Jake King and Devontae Wright. They'll play that 3-3 stack again today.
Looks like Joseph Trout's out there right now, I'm thinking.
Trout will be out there. And defensive backs, Davon Henry, he's leading the way with a couple of interceptions. Antoine Palmer will be the one coming down in that stack. Nate Desimone and Trey Johnson. On first down, the quarterback's going to keep it, and he'll pick up a few yards, and that is Caleb Bedford. He is a senior out of Houston, Texas, 6'3", 215-pounder. He's been injured most of the year, but he's out there now, and he has a cannon of an arm, and he's good size, 6'3", 215.
And he likes to scramble, and it looks like a Viking shaking up. That's Kyraton. Looks like Kyraton Kilgore shaking up on the first play. It looks like maybe holding his midsection. I'm not sure.
Well, I talked to Elliott Suter earlier in the week, and he was limping around a little bit. He had somewhat of an ankle sprain, but thought he was going to be able to go, and that was a game-time decision that he's not playing. And now, after the first play from scrimmage, Kyraton Kilgore, the 305-pound nose guard out of St. Louis, is down on the field. This Vikings last couple of weeks have gone to a 3-3 stack defense, only three linebackers, and then they have defensive backs, but they use Antoine Palmer. He'll come down and play linebacker as well, and they're holding the right arm of Kyraton Kilgore.
Wow. Yeah, we cannot afford to lose him. He's one of the mainstays on that defense, really plugs up that middle, and yeah, you're right, he's leaning kind of towards his right, and they've got the trainers have their hands on the lower part of his right arm. So
let's hope there's not something serious there. He has been had a groin problem really the last couple of years, but this is certainly with that right arm. So that will bring Middendorf in, Stephen Middendorf out of O'Fallon. And that shortens the depth on that defensive line. Second down. Here's another handoff, and not much there out to the 32-yard line as they try to run the football to Tevin Reed. Reed, 276 yards coming into this ball game. He is out of Memphis, Missouri. It'll be third down and about 3.
Yeah, a couple of pretty decent running plays for Central Methodist. The first play, Bedford kept it off the left side, faked it, picked up about 5, and that time the Vikes hold Reed to about a 2-yard gain. So big third down play, like you said, 3rd and 3, just underway here, no score. So let's see if the Vike defense can come up big here early on.
Ball is at the 32, right in the middle of the field. As Reed is lined up to the right of Bedford, takes the snap, whistles sound, and this play is going to be stopped before it ever began, and I'm sure it's a procedure penalty. False start. And that false start is on one of the wide receivers, I believe, number 18, Ronald McLean. So it's going to be 3rd down and 8.
Well, how that changes your thinking. You're sitting there 3rd and 3. You've had 2 good running, or 3rd and 3. Now you've run 2 good plays. Now you got 3rd and 8. So now you're probably in a passing situation.
Big difference. Bedford, 71 out of 148. He's thrown 5 touchdowns, but thrown 7 interceptions. 3rd and about 8. And he wants to keep it. Rolls to his right, looking downfield, throws it to the sideline. It is caught, but I think out of bounds. Are they going to give him the catch?
Give him the catch.
They're going to give him the catch at the 45-yard line. That's enough for a first down. I thought he dropped out of bounds, but now the officials are going to confer. Incomplete pass.
Now they change it.
I thought his 1 foot was out of bounds down there at 45. Of course, at this level, you do not have replay, but we have replay. And it looked like he had fallen out of bounds. So the attempt to Marcus Whiteside incomplete, and they'll have to punt it away into a very stiff breeze. and Jakari Johnson back to receive the punt.
Yeah, Whiteside did a pretty good job that time of straddling the sideline. And, in college ball, you only have to have 1 foot in. Pros, you got to have them both in. But, boy, how about that Chiefs-Oakland finish the other night? Talk about some critical catches and feet inbounds down the stretch.
Back and forth, that one went.
I've never seen a game with more final plays than that one had.
Nathan Hampton punts, and this is a low-line drive at hit. I think that might have hit one of the Vikings. Picked up by Jakari. Up the left side to the 50. He's to the 40, 35, 30. Waits for a block. Cuts it back to the 20, to the 15, to the 10. Touchdown. Jakari Johnson. That ball bounced off the helmet of one of the blockers. Jakari picked it up, went to his left, back to the center, and he'll take it the distance for a Viking touchdown.
Not sure. I'm going to guess that's about a 65-yard run. I think he took it about his own 35, and as you said, went to the left, had a nice wall out there, made a nice cut back to the middle of the field, and I don't think anybody ever laid a hand on him.
And that ball bounced off the helmet of one of the Vikings. It was a very low line drive punt, and Jakari wisely picked it up. And then it was to the left, back to the middle, into the end zone. Good start.
Second week in a row, the Vikings strike early.
Austin Johnson will attempt the extra point with Dakota Collins holding. Ball down kick is on the way, and it is good. He is now 26 out of 27 on the year. Quick 7-0 lead for the Vikings. We're coming back with a kickoff in 30 seconds on the Vikings Sports Network.
ConAgra and Marshall want their products to make you smile. ConAgra is a local producer of cake cuisine meals, Marie Callender pasta, banquet dinners and pot pies, and Healthy Choice Cafe steamers. Eating right is different for each person, and that's why they have so many different products. Their goal is to make safe, nutritious, and delicious food. ConAgra is a great place to work, and they encourage their employees to volunteer. For information about the company, how they give back to the community, and information to help you live a healthier life, visit ConAgraFoods.com.
Well, that was the 7th touchdown of the year for Jakari Johnson, and it was an impressive one.
I think Jakari is about as electrifying runner in the open field as anybody in the conference.
No, I don't think there's any question. He has that speed, and he can make some moves, and that was impressive. So a quick start for the Vikings. Johnson will kick it off. Waiting for the football.
Yeah.
Didn't have a football.
Would Jakari just keep running after he got to the end zone?
Kind of like
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump, just keep running into Young Hall and over to Beatty and to Ferguson Center. Now Johnson has a football. We'll keep you updated on other scores this afternoon. Boy, we have a busy week coming up. We'll tell you about it as we go along this afternoon. Other sporting events involving the Vikings today. Volleyball plays Graceland tonight. Women's lacrosse playing this afternoon. We'll go over all that here in just a moment. 7-0 Vikings early on. Here's the kick by Austin, and this one will sail into the end zone as well. Watching it sail across the back line is Shadrach Alexander, and for the second time, the Eagles have the football. Joe, I might mention with this Eagle team, there are 3 former Vikings on the coaching staff.
Yeah.
LaQuentin Black is a full-time coach, and then Jacoby Bellard and Zavon Moore are both graduate assistants. So there's a lot of Vikings on the Viking feelings on the far side.
Instead of coaching for Central Methodist, I wish they were still wearing Viking uniforms and out on the field right now. They were three good players.
All 3 of them. Here is the quarterback trying to keep it, and he'll get about 2 yards. Will Bedford, boy, he had that ball out there, and Vikings couldn't get to it, but he didn't get much. And you can see right now they're not trying to do much throwing into that stiff breeze, and the Vikings stopped that for very little gain.
Yeah, pretty good defense that time by the Vikings, and that was Allen on the stop, I believe, over on that right side. So
Dedrick
good job by Dedrick.
He leads this team with 7.5 sacks and 69 tackles. So he's having quite a season.
In the pressure he got last week with a 3-man rush, that was amazing.
And now another flag, and I believe this is going to be a motion penalty against the Eagles. They just are really out of sync early on. And this is movement by one of those offensive linemen. That is Jake Goulet. Goulet wears number 54. He is the right tackle, small tackle, 235. Their front line is Alex Black, Danny Wolf, Jonathan Buden, and Miles Wallace. And then I mentioned Jack Goulet. Eric Rivers, Chris Gardner, Marcus Whiteside are the wide receivers, and Tevin Reed is the running back. Now they have an empty backfield on second down at about 12. Back to throw is Bedford. Swings it to the sideline, and that one skips in front of the intended receiver, DeMonte Allen. It'll be third down at about 13.
You know, this Central Methodist team, Ken, really got off to a great start. They beat Culver Stockton 31-0 in the opening game of the season. You're thinking, oh, look out here. And boy, it's just kind of been a downhill. It sounds like they played Evangel pretty tough last week. That was a pretty close ball game, and Evangel's been playing well. But Vikes see if they can get another big third down stop here and get it would be actually their first possession of the game if they can get the ball.
Well, the Eagles have the problem this year the Vikings had a few years ago, quarterback injuries. At one time they were using 2 wide receivers and just running the Wildcat. Bedford is back. He wants to run on the quarterback draw. He has some room. King hits him and drops him short of the first down. King was the first one there as he got to the 31-yard line on that quarterback draw, and it's going to ring up fourth and about 5.
Yeah, that was a designed run play all the way. Bedford dropped back, took one step, and then shot right up the middle. Picked up a pretty good gain, but like I say, Jake King dropped him in the open field. So once again, Central Methodist will have to kick into the wind, and Jakari Johnson, who just returned one a few minutes ago for a 65-yard touchdown. He'll line up again. This time he's going to line up right about his own 35-yard line.
Good job by the defense. 2 3 and outs. And again, punting the football will be Nate Hampton. Left foot. Boy, this is a knuckleball, and it's going to go out of bounds at about the Viking 42. Let's take a look at the Missouri Valley College offensive unit. And they are Vikings on offense as they come onto the field. Janko Burris is their tight end. And here is that offensive line. Nikolai Jasnik along with Josh Murtaugh. The center is Daniel Munoz. Devin Wright is the guard. We'll give you the rest of them after this first down play as they hand it off. Going to the right side is Kenny Sanford, and he gets about a yard, and that's going to be it. Dorian Stenard, one of the wide receivers. Jakari Johnson also in there's a wide receiver. And Moses Mention, who had a couple of touchdowns last week, his first 2 of the year. Kenny Sanford, the running back. He'll be backed up by Alton Taylor and Dre Kelly.
Like I said, trip receivers out to the left here on this second down.
Second down and 9, a gain of only a yard. That was the play that got the 80-yard touchdown last week. Empty backfield for Jake. Looks right, throws right. It is caught by Stenard into CMU territory at the 49. I think there's a flag down in that secondary. It'll be third down and 2 if the play stands, but there is a flag down at the 48-yard line of the Eagles.
Yeah, he wrestled down over there by Miles Collins, a sophomore defensive end out of Houston for Central Methodist, but this is a flag against the Vikes, so it's coming back.
So it must have been a hold. They're going to move this all the way back to the 39-yard line. Vikings up 7-0 on the Jakari Johnson punt return. 10:42 to go, first quarter.
Maurice Anglin in at the tight end position right now.
Mo, pretty good pass catcher, has 6 catches on the year and a couple of touchdowns. So second down and long. Vikings with a hard count. Now another flag is thrown, and this is going to be procedure on the Vikings. So that hard count didn't fool the Eagles, it fooled the Vikings, and B.J. Matthews called for it. And so the Vikings on their first drive are going backward at second down and about 17.
Well, you got a lot of momentum after that big punt return, so you don't want to do anything to self-destruct right here.
Second down. Vikings have to get all the way to the CMU 47 to pick up a first down. Again, empty backfield as Jake Bridges, the sophomore out of Park Hill, takes the snap, looks left, throws over the middle. Matthews has it. He's wrapped up at about the original line of scrimmage, which is the 44, but they get some of those yards back, and it's third down and 10 as B.J. Matthews gets his 10th catch of the year.
Travis Burris, junior linebacker out of Jeff City, made the stop for Central Methodist. Just kind of a little seam right there. Matthews slanted into the middle in that looked like zone coverage, and there was a little hole right there, and Bridges put it right there. So pretty good game, but a long way to go here on third down.
Third and 9 from the left hash mark. Bridges will wait for the snap, take it, Roll to his right. Looking downfield, throws. It is caught again by Matthews. He stumbles and goes down a yard shy of the first down. He would have had a first down had he been able to stay on his feet, but could not do it. And now the Vikes are going to flip the field, and they're going to call on Drake Higgins to punt it away. Higgins averaging 44.9 yards a punt. That leads NAIA punters.
Does it really? Wow, that's great.
Tenth of a yard.
Well, fantastic.
Punter from Arizona Christian, 44.8. But Drake, and with that wind behind his back, let's see what he can do here, standing back at his 36. Good snap. Not much of a rush. High, and
nice
this one is going to sail out of the end zone, so that didn't hurt his average.
No. That'll
be a 49-yard punt.
That ball went, looks to me like about 60 yards in the air. I mean, that was a nice punt. He had the wind behind him.
But that's what he wanted to do in that situation. He just said, I'm going to launch this one and let the defense go to work. So the Vikings, the penalties hurt Valley there. And they lead at 7-0 as the Eagles come back on the field. Small crowd here, but a lot going on. It's a fall break. A lot of the student athletes are in Kansas City at Kansas Speedway working as ushers at NASCAR and helping out there. That's a good fundraiser. Both soccer teams are on the road today. Here's the first down handoff. And now the quarterback, he's going to keep it, spin, and go down. Now the gain of about 5 is Caleb Bedford. Faked the handoff to Shadrach Alexander and then kept it. It'll be second down. Gain of about 5.
Gregory Johnson over there to make the stop along with Devontae Wright for the Vikings. So it's going to gain, looks like a gain of maybe about 4 on the play.
One of the Vikings' offensive linemen, Dylan Ari, down the sidelines with a crutch, and he did not suit up today. Bedford throws. It is caught across the 30, outside the left hash mark, all the way to the 37-yard line to DeMonte Allen, and that's enough for an Eagle first down.
Good protection that time by the line, and Bedford found Allen across the middle, had plenty of time to throw. So first, I think is that the first down for the Eagles? I think it is.
Yeah, 2 3-and-outs. Ball at their own 38-yard line as they run a little hurry up here. And we'll hand the ball off. Good all up the middle. Getting across the 45 out to the 48-yard line goes Alexander, the sophomore running back.
Freshman defensive lineman Mikai Burnley out of Jeff City brought him down, but a nice run by Allen on first down. So the Eagles just picked up a first down. Now they pick up about 9 on that first down run. So Central Methodist moving the football. 7:29 to go in the first quarter. Vikings up 7-zip.
2nd and 1. And they're going to quarterback keeps it to the outside. Bedford picks up a first down as he gets to the Viking 49. By the way, Kyraton Kilgore back into the action. But it is another first down for the Eagles at the Viking 49-yard line, left hash mark.
Bedford's doing a good job of the play faking in the backfield. He's faking to the running back, and the running back's carrying out the fake, and then that time Bedford faked it to the right and then cut it back to the left and found a nice hole. So the Eagles have picked up back-to-back first downs into Viking territory.
Well, the key is to stop them on first down. Don't make it first or second and short. Here's a draw play, and there's another good first down carry by Alexander. A little draw play, and that gets inside the 45 down to the 43. It'll be second down and 4.
Yeah, and again, Bedford sold the pass that time. Made everybody think he was going to throw the ball, and all of a sudden Allen takes a handoff and picks up 6. So down inside the 45, down at the 43-yard line, second down and 4.
And they're moving into a very stiff breeze, so that wind's certainly a factor today. Second down and 4 for Bedford, standing at the Viking 48. He is going to run it up the middle, and he goes nowhere. He held it into the stomach of Alexander. At the last minute, pulled that ball out, tried to keep it, and the Vikings swarmed him right at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd and 4.
That was that read option play, and Bedford didn't read it too well that time. He probably should have given it to the running back.
They're going to give him half a yard. It's still 3rd and 4. 7-0 Valley.
And the Viking defense, I thought, really played well in that game against Avila last week. Gave up 1 touchdown early and then 1 real late in the game, but really dominated most of the game.
So here's a 3rd down and 4 for Bedford and the Eagles. He takes the snap, looks, throws. It is caught for a first down, a low throw. Allen goes to the knee, makes a catch. First down, Viking 37.
Central Methodist not getting any real big gains, but just 4 or 5 yards a pop as they're marching this ball down. And they're inside the 40 down to about the 37-yard line. That's their third first down in this drive. We're down to 5:28 to go in the first quarter. Vikes up 7.
Well, an impressive drive by the Eagles trying to tie this football game. They send trips out to the right side. Bedford will hand this one off. Not much there. A few yards for Taurus Moore. He's out of Columbia, Missouri. And no gain on that play. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
Dedrick Allen came off that right end position, got into the backfield and brought him down. And boy, Dedrick just kind of all over that field.
Yeah. He's kind of tall and lean, and he can move around that defensive line. 2nd down, no gain. Now the Vikes go, or rather the Eagles kind of go into a offset I formation. And almost a power I running formation,
nice,
and they're going to get good yardage from Moore as he gets inside the 30 to the 29.
Yeah, a little bit of a misdirection there, and Moore found a nice seam on that left side. Greg Johnson finally brings him down, but Moore gets it down to the 30-yard line, and that's going to be a gain of, looks like about 8 on the play. So let's call it 3rd down and 2.
This drive started at the 20, remember, after Drake Higgins put the punt into the end zone. 3rd down, ball at the 30-yard line. And Bedford waits the snap. They're going to hand it off, and the Vikings stop that play for no gain. In fact, a loss of a half of a yard. Has nowhere for Reed to go there. He was bouncing around, and he was wrapped up.
Big Jeff Desir. Several Vikings were there, but boy, Desir, the big 295-pound senior, clogged up that hole and wrestled him down. So nice defensive stop. Let's see if the Vikes, 4-down territory for Central Methodist, ball on the 30. Let's see if the Vikes can hold here on 4th.
Yeah, if you're wondering about a field goal, Cameron O'Connell has only made 1, and that was just a 28-yarder.
And he's got a gale in his face right now.
So 4th down and 4. Vikings showing blitz. Here's the throw. It is caught and incomplete as Kirk put a shot on the receiver and knocked the ball loose. Boy, that was a heck of a shot by Jay Kirk to break up that pass play.
Yeah, Jake, they list him as a wide receiver, but he's been playing a lot of defense, and he's a sophomore out of St. Louis. That would have been a complete pass. The ball was well thrown right there, and I mean, Kirk got there at the exact same time the ball did, and boy, the receiver still hasn't gotten up yet. And that was a good clean hit. Yeah. He hit him right in the midsection.
And hit him with the shoulder.
That's exactly what you're coached to do.
That was Marcus Whiteside. He thought he had the first down. He turned, had the ball, and then, bam, Kirk hit him, jarred the ball loose, and the Vikings will take over on downs. That was quite a hit.
Big play. That would have been a first down. And in Missouri Valley territory, that would have been a first down around the 27-yard line. So Vikes turn him away thanks to a big play by Kirk, and Whiteside still down. And I think he's okay. He just kind of got the wind knocked out of him. It looks like he's on one knee, but big time hit that time.
Yeah, he took a shot. Well, let's take a quick 30-second break. We'll come back with the Viking possession in 30 seconds on the Viking Sports Network.
Whirlpool equals quality, and Charlie's Appliance Sales and Service in Marshall is your one-stop Whirlpool headquarters. Whether you need a gas or electric range, Charlie's has just the one for you, with options like rapid preheat and steam clean. Time to replace the microwave? Once again, Charlie's has you covered. They carry microwaves for both the countertop and over the countertop. Charlie's also carries several models of dishwashers. Deliveries available as well as financing with approved credit. Charlie's Sales and Service at 450 West Boyd in Marshall, your Whirlpool headquarters.
Well, the receiver Whiteside is walking off the field. That is good news. He took quite a shot. Hope he's going to be all right. Women's volleyball, Graceland's at Valley tonight. Valley defeated Peru in 3-0 last night at the Burns Center. They'll try it again tonight. They're looking good toward hosting in the postseason. Both soccer teams on the road. The women's match starts in about 10 minutes at Mount Mercy and in Cedar Rapids. The men to follow. And cross-country, Valley taking part in the Mid-Classic at Southwestern College in Wichita, Kansas. So a lot happening this afternoon. First down for the Vikes. Here's that bubble screen out to Jakari. He's hit, and he's going to lose yards on that as he was hit immediately. And that was a nice play by Quentin Brown.
Yeah, Quentin, a senior linebacker out of Greenwood, Mississippi. And, boy, he read that screen, fought off a block, and then hit Jakari about the same time the ball got there. That's going to be a loss of about 2 yards on the play.
So 2nd down and 12, the Viking defense held, but Now the offense behind the chain, 2nd down and 12 with 2:59 to go in the quarter. They'll work from their left hash mark with that strong wind at their back. Jake keeps Sanford in the backfield with him, lined up to his right. And they're going to give it to Kenny, running to his left. Looks for a block, gets it, cuts it back, 35, keeps the legs moving across the 36 to the 37. And it'll bring up 3rd down and 3. Very patient run by Sanford.
Well, a very nice block that time by offensive lineman freshman Daniel Munoz. He knocked one of the linebackers out of the way, cleared some space for Kenny, and Kenny picked up, looks like about 10 yards, 9 yards on the play. So let's call it 3rd down and 3.
Vikings have to get to the 40-yard line to pick up a 1st down. They have 2 wide receivers off to the right, 1 to the left. On this 3rd down and 3 play, the Vikes were 3 and out the last time they had it. They give it off to Sanford, running to his left, looking to get 1st down yardage. He skips by 1 would-be tackler, goes out of bounds, but not before he gets to the 42-yard line of the Vikings. That's enough for a 1st down.
Yeah, Kenny made a nice cut that time. He was running towards the left, looked like he was going to step out of bounds. And boy, he planted that left foot and cut back into the field and picked it up. So good job. First down, I guess, for the Vikings. Yep. But they do have a touchdown on a 65-yard punt return by Jakari Johnson very early, down to under 2 minutes to play in the 1st quarter.
Vikings will be moving into this stiff breeze in the 2nd quarter. Now a knee brace, one of those offensive linemen, that may be Barras, and he just slings it to the sideline.
I can't run a pass pattern wearing that
I don't need that. Bridges rolls to his right, throws that way. Stenard makes the catch, breaks a tackle at midfield. Now he's out of bounds. He stretched that ball trying to get to the 1st down marker. And what are they going to give him? They're going to spot it right at midfield. So that's a gain of about 7. It'll be 2nd down and 3.
Yeah, just a little quick out pattern that time. And Dorian, as soon as he made the cut, Bridges put it right there. So good play on 1st down. Now the Vikes can do about what they want.
That's that kind of play you want on 1st down, 5, 6, 7 yards. So 2nd down and 3. Ball right at midfield. Jake rolling to his right, pressures on, throws it to Jakari, makes the catch, a good tackle. He's close to a 1st down. Good one-on-one tackle by Malcolm Elmore.
Yeah, Elmore out of Higginsville, Missouri. And boy, a lot of Elmores who played football and basketball for the Higginsville Huskers. And that was Malcolm that time, and he's a sophomore, weighs in at 185 pounds.
But it is enough for a 1st down as the Vikes move late in the 1st quarter. 53 seconds, all that remains of this 1st quarter. Stenard goes wide to the left side on this 1st down play. Vikings going to keep it on the ground. Sanford finds a hole. There's a flag down. That's probably a hold. As Sanford keeps the legs moving all the way to the 41-yard line. Would have been a gain of about 6, but that flag was thrown right in the middle.
It's a holding.
And that's a hold. So when you see that flag thrown, you know what's going on there.
Yeah, rough break for the Vikings. That's going to back them up. Probably back to around the 40, I'm guessing.
Yep, those 10-yard penalties, boy, they hurt you. Ball all the way back 40, at the 42.
42.
But it'll still be 1st down. Khalil Smith checks in. He and Jakari lined up on the left side. Stenard's on the right.
Just looking at Central Methodist early, they're trying to contain Jake Bridges. They're kind of coming from the outside. They know he can scramble and create a lot of things, and they're trying to cut that down, which is probably pretty smart.
Now an official's timeout. I don't know if the play clock was not reset. 20 seconds to go in the quarter.
You know, the crowd has picked up here. It's not nearly as big as it normally is, but still a pretty good crowd, and they kind of a late arriving crowd, I guess.
1st down and 20. Bridges waits the snap from Daniel Munoz, the freshman center out of Dallas.
You hear a pin drop right now.
He takes the snap, hands it off to Sanford. Sanford running to the right side. He gets all the way to midfield. And, man, I'll tell you what, Jake took a shot after he got rid of the ball, but Nate Chitwood standing right there didn't throw a flag. That was pretty close to a late hit on his quarterback, but still a good gain by Sanford.
Into the quarter.
Darius Henton made the tackle. That's the end of the 1st quarter. 7-0 Valley. We're back in 60 seconds on the Viking Sports Network.
LaCrosse Lumber in Marshall carries Larson Lifestyle doors. Each door has a Duratec finish over a solid core that provides weather resistance. Larson Lifestyle doors also come with a magnetic weather stripping that feels like a fridge to keep it comfy no matter what the weather. With matching handles inside and out, a 10-year warranty protection, and a price tag of only $244, you can't go wrong with Larson Lifestyle doors from LaCrosse Lumber, where military members get a 10% discount. LaCrosse Lumber, 152 West Morgan in Marshall. Installation is available.
Power your way to a deal during the Ram Power Days at Marshall Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. You'll get almost $9,000 off a 2017 Ram 1500 Crew Cab 4x4. MSRP $42,055. Marshall Chrysler's price $33,303. Almost $9,000 off. See dealer for details. Stop in and test drive one today. Remember, the Marshall Chrysler family cares. We're the dealer after the sale.
Hi, I'm Cliff Harris, and I want you to be another happy customer.
Well, we're ready for the second quarter already. Coming up on 2 o'clock, KMMO Marshall, KMMO FM. Glad to have you with us wherever you're listening in western and central Missouri today, and also moval.edu. Chaz Maddie and his crew doing a great job as always, bringing you the pictures and the sounds from Volney Ashford Stadium, Greg Mitchell Field. So the Vikes have to go into this breeze now. It's second down and about 14. Jake standing at his own 43-yard line. And he looks left. Now he's going to take off up the middle. Bounces to the outside. Gets to midfield. And now he's run out of bounds. So not much there. And you're right, Joe. There was just complete containment by the guys in white. They were not going to go for one of his little juke moves. They just stayed at home, and he had nowhere to run.
From what I've seen so far, they're doing about as good a job as anybody we've played, keeping Jake inside the boundaries right now, not letting him turn the corner. So big third down right now, third and looks like about 14. And as you said, Vikes into that wind, which is going to make it tougher for the passing game.
Third down, have to get to the CMU 36 to pick up a first down. Eagles showing three-man rush. Everybody stands up on that Eagle defense. They may rush three, they may rush four. Nobody in a three-point stance. Jake steps up through traffic. He has room to run now. Here comes Bridges to the 40, 35, and he's got the first down all the way down to the 32-yard line. Boy, they were coming after him from the outside, and he just took off up the middle and picks up a first down.
Colin O'Connell, a senior out of Fayette, a defensive end, he was in that backfield. He was in Jake's lap as soon as Jake got the ball, but Jake, as he does so many times, got away from the pressure and then picked up a nice gain. So that's the first time they really let him get loose. And big run.
Big run, because remember the holding penalty was third down at about 14. And Jake kicks up the first down to the Eagle 32-yard line, right hash mark. Sanford stays in the backfield, lined up to the left of his quarterback. They give it to Sanford. He finds a hole at the 30, breaks the tackle at the 20, and he's finally wrapped up, but not before he gets to the 18-yard line of the Eagles. First and 10 for the Vikings, a 12-yard run.
And Malcolm Elmore brings him down, but I think Kenny changed directions about 3 different times during that run, and so very elusive. Good job of blocking by the right side of the offensive line, and the Vikes knocking at the doors. They're down inside the 20 down to the 18.
Boy, those streamers just straight out of the huge American flag blowing from straight out as well. So there's a lot of wind here today. Vikes would love to punch this one in. It's first down at the 18-yard line. They give it again up the middle. Here comes Sanford. Spin move. He's inside the 15, down to the 13, maybe the 12. They're going to give him the 13-yard line. Nice gain. Second down coming up.
Gain of 5 on the play. So, yeah, nice job there. Kenny went off the right side the play before. That time he went to the left. So both sides of the Viking offensive line have done a good job on the last 2 plays. So inside the 15. Just underway in the second quarter. Vikes lead at 7-0. 65-yard punt return by Jakari Johnson very early on.
Nikola Jasnik, you're talking about these guys up front. Daniel Munoz, Devin Wright, Josh Murtaugh. Those are the guys up front doing the job. And Onasai Satoa. Here comes Jake, scrambling to his right. He's to the 15, gets out of bounds. He'll lose about a half a yard. But he wisely got out as he was being chased over there by Miles Collins.
Yeah, there was nowhere for Jake to go that time. And yeah, again, they get him out of bounds. So big third down play. And this, this is definitely within Austin Johnson's range for field goal if that's what the Vikes need to do. But with this wind, I mean, he's going to be kicking into a hurricane-like wind coming right at him.
Well, now the Vikes will go empty backfield, 5 wide receivers, 2 to the right, 3 to the left. They spread everybody out. On third down, now they're going to send Mention in motion. And now stack him up behind Stenard. They look that way to throw. Jake scrambling. Jake's going to take off with it. And he gets to the 10-yard line, close to a first down. Well, it's going to be decision time now for Paul Troth. You're going to go for it here, 2 yards. You're going to kick the field goal. Looks like the Vikes are going to go. They're bringing in both tight ends. They're bringing in Barras and also Anglin. Vikes are going to go for it here.
Even if they don't make it there, they'll turn the ball over to Central Methodist deep in their own territory. So it's somewhat of a gamble, but you got a 7-point lead, so good decision.
Well, about 2.5 yards for a first down. They didn't quite get to the 10.
I think you give it to Kenny.
Yeah, see if he can't pick up 2.5 yards.
Let him pick it up. I think he can do it.
So fourth down and 2.5. Vikes have to get to the CMU 9.
Nope, Bridges is going to do it.
Bridges rolling. He takes off again, throws. It is caught in the back of the end zone and dropped.
There's a flag.
There is a flag down, and Bridges might have been across the line of scrimmage. Let's see. Now they're not pointing there, but I think it's against the Vikings.
Yeah, it is. I think it's an eligible man downfield, maybe.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I had one of the linemen down. Coach, I'm open, but you can't catch the ball. You're a lineman.
Get there. And that is Josh Murtaugh. So the Eagles hold. They'll take over at 7-0. Viking, nice drive, but they went to the air on 4th and 2, and pass was incomplete. There was a penalty anyway. Stenard couldn't hang on to the back of the end zone.
Yeah, usually Dorian makes that catch. It wouldn't have made any difference. I mean, it wouldn't have counted, but normally big plays on the line, he comes up with it.
So the Eagles will take over. Jennings Premium Meats New Franklin, Culligan Water Conditioning Sedalia, Charlie's Appliance Sales and Service of Marshall, and ConAgra of Marshall. Pleased to be with you on the broadcast today. First down from the 10-yard line. Now remember, this is the first time the Eagles have had that strong breeze at their back. Well, let's see if Bedford will air it out now. First down from the 10-yard line. Bedford takes the snap, and they'll hand it off, get a couple of yards. That may be an Alexander again. It was. Gets out to the 13. Second down and 7 coming up.
Yeah, pretty good job by the Vikings that time. Wright, I think Devontae Wright was the first one to get there. He's one of the linebackers,
At halftime, we're going to visit with Tori Cox, the cheerleading coach, and also Dave Dominguez, the cross-country coach. The Viking cross-country team, the men's team, ranked in the top 25. Bedford trying to run with it, and he gets to the 15, and that's it. It'll be third down and about 5.
Yeah, and that time he stuck the ball in the running back's stomach and then pulled it out right at the last minute. Miles Campbell there to wrap him up and bring him down. So third down and 5, big third down play, ball right on the 15-yard line. Again, the Vikings lead at 7-0. 10 minutes and 22 seconds to go in the first half.
Vikings normally play a 3-4 defense, but because of some injuries to linebackers, they've been playing a 3-3 stack, and that means one of the defensive backs, and it's normally Antoine Palmer at times, will come up and play like a linebacker. It's third down and about 5. Now the Vikings with some press coverage, and there is a timeout, I believe, taken by CMU. So the Eagles going to take their first timeout. We'll step aside as well. The Vikings lead at 7-0. We're in the second quarter. We're back in a moment.
You wouldn't have to clean your gutters if you had no-clog gutters from CMB Gutter Solutions and Vinyl Siding. Have them install no-clog gutters that come with a lifetime guarantee that the gutters will never clog or fall off. They also offer expert installation of vinyl siding made by Mastic, an American-made vinyl siding that comes with a double lifetime guarantee. CMB Gutter Solutions and Vinyl Siding in Sedalia. Call them toll-free at 877-827-9071 for a free estimate today.
A timeout was taken by the Eagles, and their first of the half. It is third down and 5. They have to get to the 20-yard line. Boy, this would be nice to stop him here and make Hampton punt it away.
Look for Bedford to scramble here. He's got a lot of tools.
Bedford waits, gets the snap, back pedals, rushes on. He's got time. Now he rolls. He's going to be hit. He's going to be sacked back at the 5. Campbell was there, and I don't think he was the first one there.
Joe Trout's back there. Yep.
Trout was the first one to get there.
Trout
sacked back at the 5.
Trout, Camel, and Dedrick Allen, all three in his lap. So good jailbreak that time by the Viking defense. And
there was just nowhere for him to go.
No,
they came from all different sides, so he had nowhere to go.
Yeah, good defensive stand. The Viking defense has played well all day. Let's see if we get the offense untracked here. Need to put something on the board.
Hampton now said, thank goodness I have the breeze at my back for this bunt. Jakari standing at the Eagle 40. Not sure that's far enough back.
I think he better scoot back a couple steps.
High snap. He gets it away. And this one is end over end. Jakari's going to watch it go out of bounds at the Eagle 48-yard line. That's where the Vikings will take over off the left-footed punt by Nathan Hampton.
Well, yeah, I think when you look at it, the kicking game, not the strong suit of the Central Methodist game, doesn't look like. Not a bad kick that time by Hampton, but really didn't hang it up in that breeze.
But we saw Drake Higgins. He sent his up in that breeze, and that was impressive. So the Vikes will take over 47-yard line to the Eagles. It's only 7-0, and that's off a punt return by Jakari Johnson. So the Vikes need to get this offense on track.
Yeah, I really do. Really need to put something together here. They're starting out in Central Methodist territory right at the 47-yard line, and we've still have 9 minutes and 14 seconds to go in the half, so it'd be nice to get a couple touchdown lead.
This Eagle defense gives up 41 points a game.
Yeah, they've looked pretty good so far, and they've done a good job, like we've said several times, of containing the elusive and explosive Jake Bridges.
Now we have a little delay as they're working on the marker over there, the first down marker. And we have a link in the chain. So they're working on that right now.
You know, you look at this Central Methodist roster, a lot of what I'd call local players from, kind of this area in Missouri, and they've always tended to attract kids from this area.
So it is going to be first down once they get the chain the chain fixed over there. Vikings will have it at the 47-yard line.
Well, remember, next week we're on the road. We're down in Springfield to take on Evangel. That should be a good game. Evangel really playing well this year. They are 4-3 coming into today. Their game with the Mid-American Nazarene, but they've had it going pretty well. I think now they've got things straightened out.
Right.
We're about ready to go.
Ball's at the 47.
I thought they did, but maybe they don't.
This first, I think we do.
All right.
Had a link or two of that chain.
Well, they got your 9-yard chains and your 8, depends who has the ball. Your 7-yard chains, and Vikes have the ball, so we need those short chains out there.
So it is first down at the 47-yard line. Jake rolls to his right, throws over the top, and Stenard dropped the ball. Dorian was trying to run before he caught it. On the coverage was DeMonte Bellinger. That should have been about a 6 or 7-yard gain, as it is incomplete.
I think it's those pink shoes Dorian has on. I think they're distracting.
So it is second down and 10 from the 47-yard line. For the Vikes, moving into this stiff breeze, it's only 7-0.
Is that Taylor at running back right now?
I think it is. Yeah, Eldon, the freshman out of Texas. And the Vikes taking their time with that line of scrimmage. And they hand it off to Taylor, running to his left, finds a little seam up the sideline, is tripped up, but not before he gets to the CMU 40-yard line. Nice gain on second down, running that sweep to the left side.
And give the left side of the Viking offensive line a lot of credit. They had 3 blockers out there. I'm sure one of them probably pulled out from the right side, but they really did a good job getting out in front of Elton Taylor that time and clearing some space, and freshman picks up about 7 yards on the play. So third down and 3, a very makeable third down.
Well, let's see if the Vikes can't get the first down, keep this drive alive. They have trips to the right side, leading 7-0. 3-man rush. Jake fires it over the middle, wide open, and that will be enough for a first down all the way to the 26-yard line. Is Mike Flores, the freshman.
That's the first time we've called his name, isn't it? I think it is. And Flores was wrestled down that time by Darius Hinton, the junior linebacker, but it was a nice, just a little slant pattern across the middle. Jake put it right there. Flores brought it in, and the Vikes setting up shop, 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line of the Eagles.
Flores, a good size receiver, 6'2", 205. So first down from the 26-yard line of the Eagles for the Vikings. They'll hand it off to Taylor, running right, waiting for a block. He gets to the 21, wrapped up there by Miles Collins, but a decent gain on first down.
Yeah, Miles Collins looks bigger than 215. Boy,
Yeah,
he
does.
wrapped up Taylor and brought him down that time. Boy, he just wrestled him to the ground.
So it is going to be second down, and we'll call it 6.
We'll need to cash in here.
Yes.
We're down 7.5 minutes left to play in the half. Vikes, that lone touchdown, that 65-yard punt return by Jakari Johnson.
Second down from the right hash mark. Vikings moving from our left to right, from north to south. Jake waits for the snap, gets it, hands to Taylor, reverses field, goes back to his left, finds a block, breaks a tackle, and he's going to be wrestled down at the 11-yard line, trying to sprint to the sideline, but it's enough for a first down. That was a pretty nice little run.
Well, and Elton, I think that play was designed to go to the right, and Elton says, no way, bud, I'm going left. There wasn't much blocking out there. I think the play, like say, designed to go to the right, but boy, he cut back, broke off a couple tackles, and picked up a nice gain, and that's going to be a first down inside the 15 all the way down to the 11-yard line.
Well, couple scores are final now. Peru State beat William Penn 17-14 in the TV game.
Wow.
That's a good game.
Okay.
And Baker all over Avila 57-17. Here's Taylor right up the middle. He's inside the 5 and trying to stretch forward. They're going to mark him back at the 5-yard line. But once again, Joe, pretty good blocking up front by this Viking offensive line. Just straight ahead running by Taylor.
What I liked about Taylor, he ran straight ahead. He ran hard. He hit that hole quickly, and he wasn't going to try to juke and dance that time. Now Moses mentioned, looks like he's bringing a play in from the bench. So it'll be 2nd and 5 for the Vikings with 6.5 left to go.
Mention will line up to the left side. Stenard and Jakari Johnson both way wide right on a 2nd down and 5 from the 7. Jake Bridges, sophomore quarterback, waits for the snap. They give it to Taylor straight ahead. He's to the 5, maybe the 4. The pile continues to move forward, and he's close to a first down as there's a lot of pushing and shoving going on, and that's legal in college football. And where are they going to mark this thing? They're going to end up marking this at the 2.5-yard line. That's close to a first down.
Yeah, now Elton's going to come out, and Kenny Sanford comes back in. But Taylor, a nice job. Picked up some big yards, carried the ball about 4 times, and really ran pretty hard. And Elton's not that big.
No.
They only list him at 169 pounds.
5'8". So 3rd and 2 for the Vikings inside the CMU 5-yard line. Boy, this first half has flown by. And here is a timeout taken by the Vikings. You're listening to KMO FM Marshall at Movell.edu and viewing on Movell.edu. We're back in 30 seconds on the Vikings Sports Network.
Are you looking for a way to boost the profit on your acres this season? Weber Seeds of Marshall is offering growers tremendous premiums for contract seed acres, as well as great low prices for any seed needs a grower could have. Large or small seed, forages, and a great variety of wildlife mixes. Give Weber Seeds a call today and let us help you put more profit in your pocket.
Grow the best with us, Weber Seeds.
So 3rd down and about 1.5 yards for a first down. Well, the Vikings, as they come out of that timeout, that was the first timeout for Valley here in the first half. Again at halftime, Torrey Cox, cheerleading coach, and Dave Dominguez, the cross-country coach, will be my guess. 3rd and 1.5 yards from the left hash mark. Sanford lined up behind Jake, who wants to throw. Now nothing there. Jake scrambles to the outside, flips it. It is caught at about the 2-yard line. That will be a completion, I think. Jake just kind of flipped that one forward. It is caught. I didn't see who caught it, but it's enough for a first down at the 1-yard line. Jake rolling to his left and then got it to Kenny Sanford, and Sanford makes a catch at the 1-yard line. It's 1st and goal.
You talk about being creative and creating something out of nothing. That's exactly what Bridges and Sanford did. And that just a little shuttle pass. That could have been picked off, but Jake threw it well. Kenny out in front got it, so the Vikes first and goal at about the 1.5.
And Eldon Taylor comes back in, and he gets the handoff on first down, and he's close. He tried to stretch that ball over. They're not going to give him the touchdown. It's going to be second and goal from inside the 1.
I think maybe Coach Troth would like to see Elton score a touchdown if he could. He helped drive that ball down, had some big carries during the drive, so you'd like to see a guy get a chance to finish, but now Kenny's going to come back. Sanford coming back in. Taylor's going to come back out.
Kenny a little bit bigger. He's 5'9", 195, so, 25 pounds.
Kenny's going to get it this time.
Yep. Sanford has 6 rushing touchdowns and 1 through the air. Jakari Johnson goes wide to the left side. Just want to get this one in. Increase that lead. Vikes work out of the pistol.
Just timeout. I think Central Methodist took a timeout on the defensive end.
CMU will take a timeout. This broadcast brought to you by Lacrosse Lumber in Marshall, Serve Pro of Marshall, Sedalia and Columbia, and Healthcare Collaborative in Buckner, Carrollton, Concordia, and Waverly. Here's our broadcast schedule for next week. Tuesday night we'll have volleyball. Central Methodist will be in town. So you folks who are viewing, watching the Eagles, check us out for volleyball at 7 o'clock. We'll be on Thursday. Or then rather on Friday, we have more volleyball. Mid-American Nazarene will be here. Now Saturday, Joe, you and I head to Springfield. We're going to do the Evangel game on radio only, radio and the audio on moval.edu. And then Chaz Maddie's going to start soccer against Baker. And then we're coming back, and I'm going to be here for the men's soccer match, hopefully. Take over for him on Saturday. So we've got a busy week.
Busy day. Yeah, busy week, busy day.
And then the week after that, we don't have our schedule yet because basketball starts, but we'll also have soccer playoffs and volleyball playoffs. So we earn our money this time of year. It's second and goal inside the 1. Bridges turns. Sanford straight ahead. Did he get in? Touchdown. Kenny Sanford with his 7th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Vikings go up 13-0, a 1-yard run, a 48-yard drive. Nice drive by the Vikings.
11-play drive. That's what you like to see. 11 plays, just 3-4 yards a pop, and took it down and drove it in, made it a 2-touchdown lead with 4:21 to go in the first half.
Austin Johnson will attempt the extra point. Dakota Collins with the hold. This one is on the way, and it's good. So he's now 27 out of 28 on the season. We'll be back with a kickoff in 30 seconds.
The Red Cross Pharmacy family consists of pharmacists, technicians, and support staff that are committed to your family's good health. With free services like the Care Card, Elite Care, Kid Care Vitamins, Lids for Kids, and many more, we're working to provide your family with affordable quality health care services whenever you need them. Our family serving your family for over 160 years.
Red Cross Pharmacy has no affiliation with the American Red Cross.
Well, the CMU Eagles will receive, and Austin Johnson put the last 2 kickoffs into the end zone. Of course, he had that breeze at his back, so this will be a little bit different. Alexander is back to receive this. I believe he's back there, and I think Halsey's back there as well. Here's the kick, and this one is going to be taken at the 20-yard line by one of the up men and wrestled to the ground at the 29, so that's where the Eagles will take over. You can see the effects of the wind there.
I was going to say, if Austin got that one into the end zone, we'd have needed to dress him out tomorrow for somebody in the NFL. I mean, that's a very stiff breeze. It's been blowing all afternoon, blowing south to north, and that wind's a big factor.
By the way, Kyle Brady, the freshman linebacker, made that tackle on special teams. So it's first down for the Eagles. The Vikings lead this one 14-0.
Well, let's hold them now. We got about 4:17 left in the half, so let's keep them out of the end zone. They'll start at their own 29-yard line.
Caleb Bedford. They've been running the ball for the most part, but they may have to open it up now with 4:17 to go in the half. Vikes will get the ball to start the second half, by the way. First down, to run a little reverse. Valley's there, and they get to the corner, but still a pretty nice gain. The Vikings really strung that play out, but still decent yardage there for Quishon Sims as he got that reverse handoff and gets all the way out to the 33-yard line.
Yeah, Joseph Trout, who's filling in for Elliott Suter at that linebacker position, made the stop that time. Trout got to the outside and brought him down, but a gain of, let's call that a gain of about 5 on the play, and really Central Methodist has been very productive for most of the afternoon on first downs.
So it's going to be second down and about 5. Ball at the 33-yard line. Bedford waits the snap, and he hands it off. The Vikes are there, and that play went nowhere. It'll be third down. Wright made the tackle. Nowhere for Reed to run. Third down coming up.
Devontae Wright, Jared Harrison in there to help him out a little bit, but Devontae got there first. And, Ken, I'm really kind of surprised Central hasn't thrown the ball more than they have, and really haven't thrown it deep that much.
Have not thrown the ball at all, and they do have that breeze at their back right now. It's third down and 5. Trying to run the football. Nate Desimone. He and Gregory Johnson are the safeties on this play. Now Palmer backs up into the secondary. Out of the pistol. Play action. Bedford rolling. Throwing. Incomplete. Trying to get that one to DeMonte Allen over the middle and threw it by him. And it'll be fourth down. Vikes will force yet another punt. Good defense.
Okay, Hampton's going to have a shot to bang this one with the wind at his back. So let's see what he can do here. Jakari's going to drop back. He's going to set back. Looks like around his own 25-yard line, 25, 30-yard line to receive this punt.
Joe, I recall last year Bedford, he threw a lot of deep balls.
Yeah, he did.
And had a real strong arm.
Yeah, he did. That's probably the deepest pass he's thrown right there.
All right, here comes the rugby-style punt. That one is blocked.
Elton Taylor, I think.
Elton Taylor with the block. He has been close to getting several this year, and he gets that one, and the ball goes out of bounds on the Viking sideline at the CMU 27-yard line.
Elton says, I can carry the ball, and I can also bat it right out of the air. Nice play by the freshman that time.
He's been close a couple of times, and he got that one. That rugby-style punt, and he got a hand on it and knocked it out. Hit him right in the face mask.
Yeah, Vikes' chance. We thought we were going to be nice to go in 2 touchdowns up. Now the Vikes have the ball at the 27-yard line. So let's see if we can score again.
Well, Hampton had real low line drive punts all day, and that one hit him right in the face mask. Here's Jake rolling out and throws it in the ground.
And slipped. Nobody
was there, so he threw that one at the feet, or it slipped out of his hand. B.J. Matthews, it'll be second down. Yeah, that punt held it right in the face mask. But again, we've seen every punt by Hampton a real low line drive, and he didn't get that one high enough. And that was low because Elton's only 5'8".
You know, I remember it was about 4 or 5 years ago. The Vikes ended up blocking 5 or 6 punts during the year. I mean, they'd be in there in your face every time you kicked it.
And when Barry Rave was here and the special teams coach, he loved to go after the punter. Second down and 10 from the 27-yard line. Vikes would like another one here. Try to take advantage of a blocked punt. Bridges to throw. Rushes on. He's in trouble. Rolling to his right. Throws it for Jakari. He catches it, but he was out of bounds. That won't count, I don't think. They're going to give him the touchdown. There's a flag down. Jakari was out of bounds at the 5-yard line, and I think that's going to be the call. There is a flag down at about the 2.
Great pressure that time by the senior Colin O'Connell out of Fayette. He was right at Jake that time.
Well, they're going to give him the touchdown, saying he was forced out, I guess. No foul. Okay.
So that's going to be looks like a 27-yard touchdown pass as Jakari Johnson tastes the sweet nectar of the end zone for the second time today.
Well, he was out of bounds. Sorry about that call, but he was out, came back to get it, and I saw the flag. I thought that was a call, but they pick up the flag saying he was forced out of bounds, came back, and so the Vikes do take advantage of it, and it's now 20-0.
I tell you, Bridges lucky to get rid of that ball. O'Connell right in his lap.
Yeah.
Jake made a good throw, and Jakari a nice catch.
Johnson with the extra point attempt here. Ball's on the way, and this one is good, and it is now 21-0. The Vikings have scored twice in just a couple of minutes, and guess what? We still have 2:26 to go. The Vikes still have 2 timeouts if this defense can go to work. We're back with the kickoff in 30 seconds.
Most people have a home and a car. At Lime Cooler Insurance Services, we represent many independent insurance companies that offer discounts on both your home and car insurance. Whether you own or rent, you need insurance. Landlord insurance does not cover you. Only your insurance will. Plus, auto insurance is mandatory in Missouri, and we have many great companies that offer great rates. See us at Lime Cooler Insurance Services in Marshall for a free quote today, where it's our family taking care of your family.
Vikings up 21-0. That was big. Jakari was forced out, came back in, made the catch. The officials got together, said he was forced out, no penalty.
Well, Jakari has a 65-yard punt return and now a 27-yard touchdown pass reception from Jake Bridges. So he's had a good first half. Let's see if we can keep the Eagles out of the end zone. The Viking defense has been pretty stingy all afternoon. Let's keep that going for another 2 minutes and 26 seconds.
Davon Henry now. Well, Davon came up. He wanted to hold the football, and now it's going to be Keith Harris. Or Davon. Make up your mind.
One's got bigger fingers.
Henry's going to hold it.
Henry's got bigger fingers.
Don't kick me. Here's Austin's kick. And this one's pretty good into that wind.
Yeah,
and it is going to go back to the 4-yard line. Off to the 10, 15,
look out,
to the 25, across the 30 to the 40-yard line. All the way to the Viking 48-yard line goes Sims.
I think Devon Henry saved a touchdown that time. He made an ankle tackle on Sims. Otherwise, I'm not sure he wasn't going to take that one to the house.
So good position for the Eagles. They have the ball at the Viking. And where are they going to spot this? Looks like they're going to go back to the 47-yard line. Good return by Sims.
And that's kind of the shot in the arm that Central Methodist needed.
So the Eagles have one timeout with which to work. And they have the ball at the Viking 48-yard line. Back to throw is Bedford. Steps up in the pocket. Pumps once. Now he's going to take off. And he goes down as Kirk was right there ready to hit him. And so Bedford took a slide, and he gets to the Viking 44. That's a gain of 3.
I think he was safe. I think he got under the tag that time.
Good job getting down. Now, don't take that hit if you don't have to.
Well, Bedford's been boogered up. He's been banged up a good part of the year, so he doesn't want to get hurt again, I'm sure. 1:49 to go in the first half. The Eagles down 21-0, trying to get something going here. Take advantage of that nice kick return. Second down. Bedford throws over the middle. It's incomplete. That pass was low, and it was intended for Sims. It'll be 3rd down and 6. Yeah, pretty good pressure that time. Dedrick Allen and Joseph Trout both coming on the Vikings. So Bedford unloaded it, but a little bit low. So big 3rd down play right here. The Eagles want to get something. They don't want to go into the halftime with a goose egg on the board on their offensive side.
They need to get to the 37 to pick up a 1st down. So it's 3rd down. 2 wide receivers right, 2 left. As Bedford takes the snap, backpedals, steps up now, throws it over the middle. It's incomplete. He just tried to dump that one off over the middle. The intended receiver was Garen Evans. It is incomplete. It'll be 4th down, probably in 2-down territory. Joe, if they go for it, though, and don't get it, the Vikings will have great field position.
Minute and a half left. Chad Chitney, the junior linebacker out of Las Vegas, there to break that last pass up for the Vikings. So big 4th down play, and you're right. I think Central Methodist, they haven't sent, now they send the play in. So they're going to go for it. Eagles are going to go for it on 4th down with a minute and a half left in the half. 4th, and they've got about 7 yards to go to pick up the 1st.
They only have one timeout with which to work. Back to throw. Bedford rush coming up the middle. He lofts it deep. It is intercepted and dropped by Kirk, but that's better than picking it off.
That was good that he dropped it.
He's upset by dropping it, but that's the play he needed to make. The Vikings are going to get the ball near midfield.
Yeah, Kirk knocked that one down right about the 5-yard line. There were a couple of Eagles back there, so I'm not sure he would have gone too far if he would have intercepted that. But Vikes had triple coverage, one receiver out in pattern that time for Central Methodist, and the Vikings had 3 people back. So good rush, good coverage, and the defense comes up big again. And Ken, a minute 24 left, so the Vikings still have time, and they only have to go, looks like about 67 yards for a touchdown, 57 yards for a touchdown.
I know they have at least one timeout remaining. So here we go. Vikes up 21-0. They're not going to sit on this, you know that. They are going to go.
Elton Taylor, I believe, in at the running back position.
Ball's at the 42-yard line. Jake looking deep, throwing it over the middle. It's ball caught up in that breeze, and it just dove right into the turf in front of Dorian Stenard. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Ken, I wouldn't think you could get much accuracy on any pass over about 20 yards into that wind. I mean, it's really stiff, and that time Stenard was wide open, but Jake left it short.
Yeah, he tried to put a little on, and that ball just dove into the turf. It's 2nd down and 10. See what the Vikes will do here. Leading 21-0. Bridges waits for the snap, takes it, throws it. They throw the bubble screen. Jakari Johnson breaks one tackle. Jakari to the 45, weaving his way back to the right, runs into one of his own linemen, and will go down at the 49. There's an injured Viking on the far side of the field. He ran right into Murtaugh.
Josh was trying to get out of the way, but Jakari's pretty quick. That ain't going to happen.
Murtaugh grabbed him and pulled him along for a couple of yards. Said, I stopped the play, but we'll get to midfield anyway. So it's going to be 3rd down and 2. And on the far side, there's an injured Viking.
Can't see the
maybe
number.
Stenard. No, the Dorian's walking over
He's
that.
He's got white shoes on, so that's not Dorian. Can't see the number.
There. There's a wide receiver on the far side. So it is going to be 3rd down and about 2. We're down to 1:04. If the Vikes pick up the first time, there's plenty of time. But again, the concern right now is yet another injury. Joe, the Eagles have gone through this year what the Vikings went through a couple of years ago. You just could not keep a healthy quarterback. Remember that year the Vikings were down to a fourth string young man out of St. Joe.
Yeah.
And they've done that this year for a couple of games. The Eagles, I know when they played at William Penn, they used 2 wide receivers at quarterback and just ran the Wildcat all day. That's all they could do.
Wildcat's a pretty good 1 or 2 play offense, but once they catch it, it's pretty tough.
Mizzou 68-21 today over Idaho. So the Tigers got a homecoming opponent, and they took advantage of that and probably said, nice to get out of the SEC for a week.
I wonder what Idaho, when they play at home, I wonder if their fans get mad they start throwing potatoes out on the field, you think?
What is their nickname?
Isn't that the potato capital?
Oh, yeah. The Vandals. They're the Vandals, aren't they?
Well, they have a bowl called the Idaho Potato Bowl, and so
played at Boise with the blue turf.
Okay.
Well, they're still working on the receiver. I think he's going to get up now.
Well, Idaho might be just what Missouri needed at this stage of the season.
Yep.
They've had some tough games. Moses
Mention is the injured player. And I tell you what, I did not see it. I was listening to this part of the Tiger game on the way here. The Tigers wore the black helmet with the white block M today.
Did they? All right.
Yes.
Okay.
My favorite Tiger look.
All right. They've looked good. I mean, for the first half, they looked real good against Georgia, and I thought they played a good game against Kentucky.
Well, that's Moses Mention. They're helping him out. And he walked off on his own power.
Yeah,
that's good to see.
He maybe just got his bell rung, not sure.
Hope it's not a concussion, but we'll see what happens to Moses. They'll come over and have a little concussion protocol with him. It is 3rd down and 2. Vikings need a couple of yards to keep this drive alive, and we are down to the final 52 seconds of the half. And here's Elton Taylor trying to get to the outside, and he's got enough for a first down at the 45-yard line. He didn't have it initially, and the young man's strong legs was able to just keep those legs moving and gets to the 45 for a first down.
Tackle there by Dayton Killeen, a freshman out of Cuba, Missouri. But, Elton not that big, but he showed a lot of force that time.
So Jake will go to the air. 3-man rush over the middle. It is caught by Stenard and dropped. Ball was a little bit behind Dorian. He couldn't come up with it.
A little bit behind him, and he took a pretty good hit about the time the ball got there. So.
And giving him the shot was that linebacker we've talked about, Quindon Brown. So 2nd down. We're down to 34 seconds.
Now the sun's starting to pop out. It's kind of been overcast a good part of the afternoon, but right now, sun peeking through the clouds.
2nd down and 10 for the Vikes, who lead it 21-0. Jake takes the snap, throws to the side. It's complete to Stenard, trying to get to the sideline. Didn't do it. It's a 5-yard gain to the 40, and the Vikings are going to use a timeout here. So Valley will have to spend a timeout. 25 seconds to go. It'll be 3rd down and 5, and we're back in 30 seconds.
Geek Sport and Spine,
Spine is Missouri's largest provider of outpatient orthopedic physical therapy services. I'm Jamie Case, staff physical therapist. Peak Sport and Spine is ready to meet your physical therapy needs using the latest manual and soft tissue techniques to help you regain your optimum level of function. We see everyone from the weekend warrior to the elite athlete. We also specialize in worker compensation, helping you get back to your job as quickly and safely as possible. So if your physician prescribes physical therapy, choose Peak Sport and Spine. You can see us locally in Sedalia, Fayette, California, and Marshall, or visit us on the web at peaksportspine.com.
And the Vikings up 21-0 with just a few seconds left in this first half, and they've used a timeout on 3rd down and 5. The college game, the clock stops after first down. So, Joe, they have time for 2 or 3 more plays here.
Oh, yeah, they do. And 25 seconds could be an eternity. And Jake Bridge is pretty masterful at managing the clock. So let's see what the Vikes can come up with here.
3rd down and 5. They have to get to the 35 for the first down, but the goal is the goal line, which is about 40 yards away. Jake rolls, throws. It is caught by Jakari. He steps out of bounds inside the 30 at the 28-yard line, and there's 18 seconds to go. Good job by Jakari. Got all he could and then got out of bounds.
Well, what he did, he got close to the sideline, and then when he got close to the sideline, he knew he could step out, so he went ahead and went on downfield as far as he could go. Then when there was no more room to run, he stepped out. So good management that time. That takes the ball down inside the 20 or down inside the 30 down to about the 28-yard line. So 18 seconds left.
Ball at the right hash mark, 28-yard line. It'll be a long field goal for Austin into that breeze. Jake takes the snap, backpedals, now steps up. He wants to run. He's going to be sacked.
Big. Flag
is down. There may be a hold on top of everything else here. Nobody was open downfield. Jake was sacked.
Yeah, you can see that sack. That was by...
and now a flag is thrown, and the flag may be on the Eagles.
That sack, I think, was by
face mask.
Danny Alvarado, I think, was the guy who was in on the sack. And he must be the guy with the face mask because Alvarado came off that right side and got to Jake. But
got him with the face mask. So the Vikings get a big break there. They're going to get first down out of this. They got the sack, but the face mask penalty was going to move the ball with 12 seconds to go down to the 14-yard line.
Well, you figure maybe 2 more shots here. And Jake picks the flag up and flips it back to the official.
Nate Chitwood is the referee. He's from Centralia, Missouri. Long-time official, both basketball and football. Now I think we're going to have a CMU timeout, I believe.
Well, the Eagles definitely do not want to give up another touchdown. You know, and probably about 3 or 4 minutes ago, they're thinking, hey, maybe we can take this in, a 7-0 game at halftime. And the Vikes have scored twice since that, and they're knocking at the door one more time.
Oh, Valley takes a timeout. So the Vikings used their last timeout. Wow.
Well, you're probably going to throw the ball toward the end zone. Throw it toward the end zone. You should get 2 cracks at it.
Should get 2 cracks at it here.
And he might think about a field goal. Boy, Austin really drilled that last kickoff into the wind. He knocked that ball against that wind all the way down to about the 4-yard line.
But if you don't get into the end zone, you don't get first down yardage, then they won't have time for another play, so you'll have to go to the end zone here. Exciting Missouri Valley College broadcast made possible by Kane Insurance in Carrollton, Marshall, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, and Red Cross Pharmacy. We might mention as well that the Vikings have had a couple of sacks today, and that means that from now until tomorrow evening, when you go to the Marshall McDonald's, you buy a Big Mac, you get the second one free. So you can have a Big Mac and take candy one. You can tell her you purchase it for, and it'll be free, and she won't know the difference.
You won't tell her, will you?
Nope, won't tell her a soul. So the second one free if you have a ticket to today's game,
Try to get by with anything I can.
If you have a ticket to the game today, by the way. Here's Jake rolling out to his left, looking to throw that way. Into the corner. It's incomplete.
Threw that one away.
And we now have 6 seconds remaining.
That took half the time, so you got to guess only one more play left.
Now they're going to give it Austin a shot. Yep, they're going to try Austin Johnson here. Austin is 4 out of 6 field goals. His longest is 36 yards.
This is going to be about a 30-yard field goal. It's going to a 31-yard field goal. It's going to look like about a 51-yard field goal.
31-yarder from the right hash mark. Dakota Collins will hold. Into a very stiff breeze. Good snap. Kicks on the leg.
Got enough
Plenty
on it.
of leg.
Got
it
enough
is
on it.
good.
Good job.
I mean, no doubt. Austin Johnson buried that one, breeze or not, and the Vikings take a 24-0 lead, and that's it for the first half. We'll be back. Joe has some high school scores later in the halftime. We have a couple of interviews for you, and we'll take a look at the stats. Vikings pitching the shutout, 24-0 at the half on the Viking Sports Network.
No one knows what next spring will bring. This is Kelly Thorpe with Central Missouri Agri-Service. This fall, do what you can to have your fields ready for next year. That means soil testing so that you can establish proper fertility and pH. Let's talk about it now, so all you have to do is give us a call as soon as your combine leaves the field. Fall-applied fertilizer and lime works better, and your planting schedule works a lot better too. Call us at Central Missouri Agri-Service now, where our success is measured by your success.
The amount of data breaches in the country is staggering. People whose data is compromised are almost 10 times more likely to become a victim of identity theft. Now you can do something to protect yourself with Wood & Houston Bank's Smart Secure Checking, the only checking account that provides the best banking features and identity theft protection in one place. Open your account today. Wood & Houston Bank. Security, technology, convenience. Member FDIC.
Vikings lead at 24-0, looking for their 13th straight victory over the CMU Eagles. Still have a half to go. And I mentioned at the outset of this broadcast, the Vikings since 1946 have a 49-3-1 record against CMU. There were a few years in the 50s, and then from 1987 to 91, if you recall, CMU left the Heart of America Conference. They didn't play, but it has been a series. There have been some very close games where the Vikings have dominated play, and they have a 24-0 lead here at the half. We'd like to thank Shelter Insurance agents Terry Townsend and Marshall, Troy Brockman in Concordia, Russell Kirby and Slater, and Weber Seeds Incorporated, Wood Houston Bank, and Fitzgibbon Hospital, all of Marshall, bringing you the broadcast of Missouri Valley College football. Let's take another 1-minute break. When we come back, we'll have some statistics, and also we're going to visit with Tori today. Tori Cox is the cheerleading coach. We're also going to visit with Dave Dominguez. He is the coach of the Valley Cross Country team, which is ranked in the top 25. We'll have those visits and more at the half on the Viking Sports Network on KMMO Marshall and Movell.edu. Back in a minute.
Don't know how Webster defines sublimation, but Viking Athletic Goods defines it as really cool transfers, unique specialty items, revolutionizing printing, or makes custom printing no longer custom. For example, in the past, if you wanted a custom T-shirt made for Grandma, you had to pay expensive setup costs, wait for weeks to get it, and you had to buy a bunch to get the price down. Well, not anymore. Go buy Viking Athletic Goods on the Marshall Square and let them show you anything from shirts to license plate brackets to mouse pads and coasters and more. You got to see it with your own eyes.
On the lot with Matt Harrod, I'm here Ford Sales. And Matt, you've got a great selection of used trucks. Boy, Pete, that's right. Whether it's a Dodge pickup, an F-150, a Chevy 1500, we've got them all right now at Elmer Hare Ford. But let's look at this one right here. How about a 2011 Ram 1500 four-wheel drive, crew cab, SLT, $11,995 right now at Elmer Hare Ford. Folks, whether it's a Ram, Ford, Chevy, we've got them right now for you. See me, Matt Hare, Greg Anderson, Dwayne Lewis, or Ryan Woodson, or visit us at ElmerHareFord.com.
Well, we'll go over all the statistics for you a little bit later on in the half, but here's the stat of the game. The Vikings have 190 yards offense. CMU just 74 yards of offense, 23 yards passing, only 51 rushing. So the Viking defense really doing the job today, and we'll go over all those for you. But right now, let's go to our interviews. I had a chance to visit with a couple of the fine coaches at Missouri Valley, and did that earlier in the week.
It's halftime of the football game with Central Methodist, and David Dominguez joins us. He is the cross-country coach. And, David, as we do this interview, your team is competing in the state of Kansas today. And I'll tell you, you guys travel quite a bit. You look for the best competition you can find, don't you?
Yes, we do. Our goal is to go where the best competition is at. And unfortunately, this year is usually like 4.5 to 5 hours away. Like this weekend, we'll be at Winfield, Kansas, which is about an hour away from Wichita. We'll go against number 5 in the country, number 23, and number 25, and a lot of top 3 schools in our conference.
And I know you like to compete not only against NAIA schools, but Division II and some Division I, don't you?
Correct. So our first 3 competitions were all against Division I and Division II programs. We usually get in the top half, but that helps us to prepare for the NAI competition.
Where do most of our runners come from? Recruit any certain place you recruit from?
I think a lot of our kids are we getting them for California. We try very hard to get a lot of local talent. A lot of them come from Texas. We do have a young lady from Japan, another young lady from Australia. So, yeah, all over.
Now, we talk about the men's program because you're nationally ranked. Let's talk about them first, then we'll talk about the women as well. But that men's program, I tell you, you're having quite a season.
Yes, we've been very blessed to stay healthy, and we're heading in the right track. Right now, we're currently, I think, ranked number 1 in the conference. Our goal is to take it each race at a time, and, try to appreciate every competition and just work on the things that we can control.
Is your goal to get the team to the nationals? Is that a fair goal?
Yes, that's our goal. Our goal is to hopefully, win conference again. That's definitely, and then in the back of our mind, is the nationals and hopefully get top 10.
How about the women's program? This is a program that's coming on.
Yes. So right now, we are currently ranked 4th in the conference out of 14 teams. I believe is the best finish, ranked so far in the last 6 years. We're hoping for great things from the girls at the conference meet.
How are your athletes handling this, notoriety or the high ranking? Are they handling it pretty well?
Yeah, I would say so. Rankings are rankings. We look at the things that we can control, which is the small things, and work on the things each day from the classroom to the workouts, and each day at a time. We're not even thinking about conference. We're thinking about Winfield, Kansas, and the competition there. And then after that competition, we'll think of the next competition. But at the end of the day, it's great for Missouri Valley, but really what we're focused on, the things that we can control.
Now, some people who may not follow cross country all that well, it's individual runners, obviously, but it certainly is a team sport, isn't it?
Correct. It is individual, but it's a team sport. They score the first top runners, and the first 5 runners to come in the fastest, finishes the best.
And you want everybody that's running, though, to do. They have a job to do during that race, don't they?
And it's funny you mention that because it doesn't matter if you're a 14th guy or a top guy. Everybody has a job. And that's part of why we have individual meetings with all the runners to give them individual plans. But ultimately, it's all individual plans for the bigger picture.
Hey, good luck. We'll follow it throughout the rest of the fall, and let's have some great races, okay, David?
Thank you, and go Vikings.
David Dominguez, cross-country coach, Missouri Valley, our guest. At halftime, I want to visit Tori Cox in her second year as the coach of the Missouri Valley College cheerleading squad and also of the competition that will come up next semester. And Tori, thanks for coming on. It's been a fun 2 years, hasn't it?
It's been exciting. A whirlwind.
Now, when I do broadcast a football game, I look down on that sideline, and my goodness, you have a lot of young men and women down there. How many on this squad this year?
We have 45 on the sidelines.
Wow, 45. And where do most of your recruiting done?
Well, most of our recruiting is done in the state of Kentucky. I have a high percentage of my team from Kentucky. So random. They just have a really dense talent pool there.
So the state of Kentucky, and a year or two it might change, go somewhere else, right?
Yes, I do have a lot of kids from the home state, so from Missouri. But my next state is probably Kentucky.
Now, for those parents and alumni who are listening and viewing the game today, if they have a daughter or son or a granddaughter, grandson that might be interested in continuing with cheerleading, I guess it's probably a good idea to get a hold of you.
Absolutely. They can email me. We just look for a good student academically, good character, and then someone who's ready to work hard and hit those elite skills that we look for.
Now, I have watched your squad work out, not in the gymnasium, but I've seen them run across campus. Mm-hmm. You put these gals and guys through a lot, don't you?
Well, the NAI and Missouri Valley College both consider them a sport, so we treat them just like any other athlete on campus. They have the same expectations, and they put in just as much work as anybody.
And really, I'll tell you what, they have to be in shape because you have them do a lot, don't you?
We do. It's pretty physically demanding, but they definitely step up, and they're in very good shape.
They are. Tell me about the competition season coming up. That'll be next semester, correct?
Yes, we compete. Our first competition, I believe, is January 19th, and then it's just back to back to back after that. They have about 5 competitions for one team, and then our club team, actually, they'll have one competition in April. So,
what's the difference between the two?
The NAIA team, they'll compete at NAIA competitions within our conference, and then at the regional qualifier, and ideally nationals. And then the club team, they will not compete at those conference and regional competitions. They will go down to Daytona, Florida, which they've already qualified for.
Wow.
Yes, and they'll compete there.
All right, so they've already qualified to do that.
Yes, we did that early in August.
How many cheerleaders are involved in competition?
We split the team roughly the 45 between 2 squads. So we have around 20 on one, and then the other 25 on that club team.
Okay, and what are some of the things you do in competition? I mean, that's a lot of the gymnastics, a lot of aerial stunts, things like that. Am I saying that correctly?
You're doing pretty good.
Okay.
We do a lot of stunting in the air, so throwing those girls up. They'll do baskets where they're expected to flip and spin at the same time before coming down. Our pyramids, the goal is basically to stack as high as possible, as many girls on top as possible without coming down. So.
You were in cheerleader at Northern Iowa, I believe?
Yes, I cheered there for a couple years, and then I cheered All-Star, and I was a gymnast growing up. So the combination of all of them, and it's a big world.
I watched you Saturday on the sideline when your cheerleaders were on the field at halftime. You're getting into that.
Well, it's hard not to. When you have that many on the field and they're throwing up so many things at once, it's hard not to get excited when you see things going well. It's hard not to feel the disappointment when things come down, too. You feel it just the same as those kids do out on the field.
Your group is really important. I thought Friday night during the torch run when you were on the track and all the runners came in and they had to come through the cheerleaders line, that to me was kind of special. And then at the bonfire, you really do add a lot to everything that's going on at Missouri Valley.
Well, thank you. We really like being involved. We like being asked, or sometimes the first group asked to be there, and it makes you feel pretty good. It makes them feel like they're wanted and respected as a program, and they like doing that fun stuff besides just practicing all the time.
Yeah,
So
I bet they don't like practice all the time. And I noticed varsity volleyball, you have a squad there now. Well,
yes, head coach Brett Holt has requested that we be there this year, and it's been very successful. Cheer and volleyball is a fairly collegiate thing to do, so we love bringing that to campus as well.
Tori, you're doing a great job with these young men and women. Keep it up. I enjoy watching them.
Well, thank you so much.
So there's Tori Cox. She is the cheerleading coach at Missouri Valley. And before that, Dave Dominguez of the cross-country team. And they have done a magnificent job this year. They're ranked in the top 25, and they participated today at the Mid-Classic at Southwestern College near Wichita, Kansas. So congratulations to both of those coaches. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll take a look at some of the first half statistics, and Joe will have some high school scores. That's all coming up in a minute.
Young athletes often run the risk of strain or injury. It's good to know that Fitzgibbon Rehabilitation Services is on your team. Fitzgibbon Rehabilitation Services provides outpatient physical therapy, many highly specialized certified techniques designed to put athletes back at the top of their game. So when your doctor prescribes outpatient physical therapy, remember Fitzgibbon Rehabilitation Services is close by for adult, pediatric, and athletic physical rehabilitation. Learn more at fitzgibbon.org.
Everyday professional landscapers have miles to go and acres to mow. From first light to dark, these hard-working pros put extreme demands on their equipment. Now you can enjoy the same dependability with Toro walk and zero-turn mowers. At Davis Lawn Equipment in Marshall, they offer a wide range of mowers for one of the best-performing brands in the business. Built tough to last with consistent performance and easy maintenance for as long as you own your Toro. Visit Davis Lawn Equipment at 317 North Jefferson in Marshall to experience Toro walk power and zero-turn mowers for yourself. Toro, count on it.
We are back at halftime, and the Vikings lead it by the score of 24-0. Here are some scores. Final today, Peru State beat William Penn 17-14. Baker over Avila 57-17. Midway through the third quarter, Benedictine leading Culver Stockton 28-7. Grandview over Graceland 13-0 second quarter. And late second quarter, Mid-American Nazarene and Evangel tied at 7. Women's soccer, Missouri Valley 3-0 over Mount Mercy. That game is at that match is at half. Here, the Viking defense, Joe, has held the Eagles to 74 yards of offense. The Vikings have 190 yards, only 74 yards of offense for the Eagles, 51 on the ground, just 23 passing. So a good job by Monty Rowe's defense in this game, no question. Only 3 first downs for the Eagles. They all came on that same drive. And as far as some of the individual numbers, Caleb Bedford has 23 yards rushing. For the Vikings, Kenny Sanford has 42, Elton Taylor 35, and Bridges 22. Jake is 11 out of 17 with a touchdown for 91 yards. Bedford just 3 out of 10 for those 23 yards. Jakari Johnson has that 59-yard punt return, and also he's caught a touchdown pass of 47 yards. So the Vikings looking pretty impressive in that first half as they lead it by the score of 24-0. Leading the tacklers, Gregory Johnson has 4. Devontae Wright has 4. Miles Campbell, Joseph Trout each have 3. And Dedrick Allen with a couple of tackles. The Vikings have 1 sack. That was given to Miles and to Trout. So there you have some of that stats.
Ken, I'm kind of surprised that Caleb Bedford hasn't thrown the ball. I mean, last year he aired the ball up all over the field when we played down in Fayette, and this year hasn't thrown it that much. I'm not sure how much of that has to do with the wind, or maybe it has to do with he's not as healthy as – not at full speed. I know he's fought some injuries this year, but he's a good chucker, and they Vikes really have cut their passing game out completely.
Yep. How about some high school scores? Last night, I guess the district playoffs started last night, and usually on that night you get some pretty lopsided scores. But what happened last night?
Well, in Class 1 District 4, it was Tipton over Skyline of Urbana 36-18. Windsor beat Lone Jack 52-13. Crestridge beat Appleton City 42-6. Next week it'll be Tipton against Lincoln and Crestridge against Windsor. In Class 1 District 6, Marceline beat Salisbury 40-0. They remain unbeaten. Santa Fe beats Sweet Springs 50-22. Fayette 58-28 winners over Harrisburg. And a game I think you saw, Westrand beat Slater 48-13. So next week, Santa Fe will head to Marceline. Westrand will head to Fayette. In Class 1 District 7, it was East Buchanan over Mid Buchanan 34-20. West Platte knocks off Oric 57-12. Wellington Napoleon beats Concordia 36-12, and Plattsburgh beats North Platte 54-22. Next week, West Platte at East Buchanan, Plattsburgh at Wellington Napoleon. In the Class 2, in looks like District 6, Macon beats Highland 40-0. It was Clark County 54-8 over Bowling Green. Palmyra all over Clopton 79-8. Centralia beat Van Far 45-6. So it's Macon, Clark County next week, Palmyra and Centralia. District 4, Lamar beat California 69-6. Warsaw 44-14 over Colcamp. Fairgrove beats Stockton 44-0. And Versailles squeaks by El Dorado Springs 34-29. So Warsaw goes to Lamar next week. It'll be Versailles at Fairgrove. In District 7, Knob Noster beats St. Paul 42-14. Summit Christian beats Sherwood 50-6. Holden all over Butler. So Holden will be at Summit Christian. Knob Noster at University Academy. Class 2 District 8, Higginsville 30-13 over Brookfield. Lawson beats St. Joe LeBlanc 36-6. Lexington 49-21 winners over Carrollton. Lathrop holds off Trenton 41-15. So Lawson goes to Higginsville, Lathrop to Lexington. Let's switch to Class 3. It was in District 6, Blair Oaks beats Missouri Military. Mexico beats Christian 52-28. Southern Boone knocked off Fulton 34-15. In Class 3 District 7, Pleasant Hill 43-7 winners over Booneville. KC Center beats Clinton 42-14. Odessa beats Southeast 53-0. Class 3 District 8, Chillicothe, they're 9-1. Former Valley graduate Phil Willard coaching the Hornets. They beat Cameron for the second time this year 49-8. Pembroke Hill 36-28 over Kansas City Central. Maryville beats Lincoln Prep 69-26. And St. Pius beats Richmond 41-22. Next week, Pem Hill at Chillicothe, St. Pius at Maryville. And real quickly over in Class 4, District 6, Grain Valley beats Northeast 62-14. Nevada 48-26 over Raytown South. Harrisonville beats East 53-22. Grandview over Van Horn. So next week, Grain Valley faces Nevada. Harrisonville and Grandview. In District 7, Warrenton beats Marshall 41-7. It was Helias over Liberty Wentzville 56-42. Moberly gets by Kirksville 21-12, and Hannibal beats Warrensburg 41-18. Next week, Helias will be at Warrenton, and Hannibal will be at Moberly. Then finally, in Class 4, District 8, Kearney beats Winnetonka 47-6. Excelsior Springs in a shootout falls to St. Joe Lafayette 35-34. Platte County 50-21 over Benton, and Smithville beats Savannah 42-17. If you're thinking about Smith Cotton, the Tigers had a bye last night. They're the #1 seed in Class 5. They're down in District 6. They will play Belton next week in Sedalia.
All right, so the playoffs are underway. Vikings lead it here by the score of 24-0, trying to go 2-0. Baker already with their win over Avila 2-0. Joe, again, the way these divisions are set, the Vikings still have a lot to play for. Certainly a South Division championship, and if you could win out, there is a slight possibility of getting back in that top 20, but you'd have to win out. We won't worry about that for a while, but this game also would get the Vikings back to 500 if they can win this game.
Well, I think
today.
realistically speaking, for all practical purposes, it's going to be tough to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Could possibly do it, but I think a goal for the Vikings, let's have a winning season. And so you got after today, if we can hold on and get this game, that makes us 4-4. 3 games left with Evangel on the road, Baker here, then Mid-Am on the road. Those will be 3 tough games, but let's see if we can win today and win then at least 2 of those last 3, and then that would give us a winning season.
You're listening to KMMO FM Marshall, Movell.edu, and viewing on Movell.edu. We have a second half coming up, 24-0. Both teams are back out on Greg Mitchell Field, warming up, and the Vikings, again, up 7-0 late, and then all of a sudden took off up 24-0 and get the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, really, and that had to take the wind right out of the sails of Central Methodist. I mean, the Eagles with about 6 minutes to go in the half thinking, hey, we're only down 7-0. Right. We're right there. And then all of a sudden, 17 points later, it's a 24-point game.
And if the Vikes could score on this drive, and the Eagles won their opening game of the year against Culver, have not won since. David Calloway in his second year, as we mentioned earlier, Jacoby Bellard, and Cornelius, or rather, LeQuentin Black and Zavon Moore all on the staff. LeQuentin is a full-time coach, and the other 2 are grad assistants. So there's a lot of Valley knowledge on the far side, but in this one, Paul Troth and his staff has the advantage, 24-0.
Well, the Eagles kicking off into that wind.
Kick this one low. It'll scoot and be picked up at the 25-yard line by Jakari. He finds a seam, turns to the outside, and is pulled down at the 41-yard line. Good tackle by Cade Getling, or that might have been a long return.
That and had 6 written all over it, and Getling made a nice tackle. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised, though. I think if I'm Central Methodist, I'm down 24-0. I'm going to want to win the third quarter.
Yeah.
I'm going to want to get back into the game. I'm not going to wait till the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and it's 24-0. The Vikings will have it. So let's see if they take advantage of it and get a couple more. Boy, Jakari, if he could have got by Getling, he's gonna get that sideline. First down for the Vikes at their own 41 after the nice return. Here's the pass out to Jakari. Heads right up the sideline, hurdles a tackler, and that was bumped out of bounds, but not before he gets to the CMU 48-yard line. That's an 11-yard gain and a first down.
Yeah, good play. And Jakari looked like a high hurdler that time. Just went right over the defensive back and picked up the first down into Central Methodist territory at about the 48-yard line.
You see that a lot anymore because coaches are teaching to tackle lower because of the high hits being called penalties. And so when they go down low, you can go over the top of them.
Well, if you're going to bring a good running back down, you got to hit him low usually. Get him around, take his feet out from under him.
Here's Stanford. He finds a seam right between the hash marks. Now they blow the whistle as he will forward progress stopped at the CMU 43-yard line. That's a gain of 5.
I don't think they ever did get Kenny to the ground that time. He just kept bulling ahead, and that's going to be looks like a gain of about 5 on the play. So Vikes, couple of productive plays here to start the second half. They lead it 24-0, just underway in the half.
He has a chance for 1,000 yards rushing with 3 games to go after this one, but he'll have to have several 100-yard-plus performances. Of course, he missed a couple of games.
Good thing he's only a sophomore.
Here is Kenny again, bounces to the outside, protecting that football. They try to yank that ball out, and they're going to whistle this one dead at the 37-yard line. And that was Colin O'Connell, the freshman, the senior out of Fayette, was just trying to rip that ball away, and Sanford had a hold of it. First down.
Colin says, "I'm not letting you go till I see your tail end hit the ground."
That's right. He was tugging on that football. You have to be strong to play this game anymore. First down at the 37.
Mike's moving. Well, good to see the running game moving right now.
Leading 24-0. Here's Sanford again. Bounces to the outside left side. He lowers the shoulder, is tackled at the 28-yard line by Malcolm Elmore, but another good gain.
Yeah, Malcolm Elmore again, Higginsville product and a good ball player. He's been on quite a few tackles here tonight, but the Vikes running that ball very effectively right now. Good job by the left side of the offensive line that time. And who's over there right now for the Vikings? I see Nikola Jasnik's over on that left side right now. And
it's like Murtaugh's over there, too.
Yeah, Murtaugh's over there, and they did a good job opening a hole that time.
So it is second down and about 2. Vikings have it left hash mark. Jake wants to throw, and it is complete to Khalil Smith. He makes the catch on the Vikings sideline, gets to the 22. That's enough for a first down. Down he goes there, but it's another first down for Valley.
That time, Anthony Hernandez, freshman linebacker out of Franklin, California, and Malcolm Elmore kind of sandwiched Khalil, but Khalil caught the ball and held on, and all the way ball all the way down to about the 22.
So first down, Vikings taking this kickoff. A nice kick return by Jakari Johnson. There were 12 minutes to go in the third quarter, and the Vikings are moving the football, leading 24-0. Few of the folks on the deck of the Malcolm Center. Here's Kenny up the middle, bounces to the outside. Another good gain as he gets to the 18. Boy, he's running hard this afternoon. It'll be second down and about 6. But, Joe, when you're down 24-0, the team's just running the football at you, it gets a little demoralizing, doesn't it?
You know, Ken, and an old adage in football, and it's true, if you can run the football and stop the run, you're going to win.
Yep.
Everybody likes to pass. That's the exciting part of the game, but that run, big part of successful football.
So it is second down and 6. Ball at the 18. Jake rolls to his right. He throws it into the corner, and it is incomplete. And Jakari Johnson had to come back and knock that away from DeMonte Bellinger. That would have been an interception. Good play by Jakari to break it up.
Yeah, Jake doesn't make many judgment mistakes, but that time he threw it into double coverage, and that could have been picked pretty easily down in the end zone. But nice play, like you said, by Jakari.
And Jake already has 9 interceptions on the year with his 12 touchdowns, so he took a chance. Ballinger thought he had the INT, and Jakari went up and batted the ball away.
You know, though, with Jakari, you take a chance. You throw it in his direction thinking, hey, he's got just as good a chance as anybody.
Empty backfield, 2 wide receivers right, 2 left. From the left hash mark, Bridges waits the snap. Takes it. Here, quarterback draw. And he breaks 1 tackle, lunges forward, trying to get the first down. They're going to mark it at the 13. He'll be shy about a half a yard, I think. Now they're going to give him the 14. So they're going to bring in Austin Johnson to kick the field goal.
Yeah, pretty good job of defensing that by Central Methodist. That was Dayton Colleen, the freshman defensive back there, to make the stop just short of the first down. So this will be like a 31-yarder. This will be a second 31-yard attempt by Johnson. This should be a chip shot compared to the last 31-yarder he tried into the wind.
And this is from the left hash mark for the right-footed soccer-style kicker. Collins holds. This one's on the way, and this one's up, and no good.
I think he hooked it to the left,
I think
he hooked it.
So, a good drive by the Vikings, but they come up short. Austin now is 5 out of 8 in field goal attempts. And the Eagles take over. It's still 24-0. That's one of those plays you go, well, if you're going to miss the field goal, let us know. We'll go ahead and go for it on 4th and yard.
Yeah. You think you can hit this or not? Well, and it's amazing because he had a 31-yarder into that breeze, and he nailed that one right before the half. And I don't know, and it could be, a little bit.
Yeah.
I'd say maybe a little bit of a crosswind, but it looks like it's coming pretty directly out of the south right now.
So, of course, after the missed field goal attempt, the ball is spotted at the 20-yard line, and that's where the Eagles will have it.
Well, defense has been pretty good all afternoon. Let's see if we can keep it going here in the second half.
74 yards of offense in the first half for CMU. And they want to run the ball again. Not much there. They hand it off to Burren Bell, a senior running back, his first carry, and he gets a couple of yards running to his left.
I think that was Antoine Palmer, the defensive back, that tripped him up.
So second down. Well, they got no gain on the play. 2nd and 10. They got him back at the line of scrimmage. All that play did was move the ball from the right hash mark to the left hash mark.
So you're saying they're going to come right this
They
time?
might come right and do the same thing. I don't know. Now into
Here they come.
They're going to run to the right side, and Jake King and company there to stop that play at the 25. It'll be 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, and again, Central Methodist, they want to run the football, really kind of hesitant to go to the pass, and they're going into the wind this quarter, so that could make some difference. But probably going to have to throw it here, I think. 3rd down and about long 6, short 7.
Nathan Hampton has had a punt blocked, his low line drive punts, and Vikings should get great field position if they don't get to 1st down and keep this drive alive here. Empty backfield for Bedford. 3 wide receivers right. He takes the snap, rolls that way, being chased by Trout, throws, it is incomplete, off the hands of the intended receiver, who was Marcus Whiteside, right at the Viking sideline. It'll be 4th down.
Yeah, Jake King in pass coverage that time. Jake had him covered pretty well, so now you're right. Hampton's going to have to kick into the wind, and probably he's kind of a low-line drive kicker. That's probably the best kind of punt to have into this wind, but see if Elton got a block in the first half. He's back in there now. Let's see if he can get another one.
Got a block right off the face mask. This is a kind of a rugby-style punt, as Hampton will run to his left.
Here comes Elton again. He didn't quite get there.
He peeled away, and this punt, it goes out of bounds, and that's, let's see where they marked that.
About the 30, looks like about the 32-yard line, I'm thinking.
They marked that out at the 34.
34.
That is about a 10-yard punt.
Yeah, and I think that time Hampton could feel Taylor coming off that left side, and Elton got the last one, so he kind of hurried his punt and kind of got it off the side of his foot. So Vikes will set up shop with great field position at the Central Methodist 34-yard line. Missouri Valley leads it. They got a touchdown early, then 2 touchdowns and a field goal right before half, and the Vikings lead it 24-0.
See if they can take advantage of a poor punt. Great field position at 35, and Jake, he looked, and
somebody was supposed to.
I think Elton Taylor was supposed to go right.
Yeah.
Jake turned. He wasn't there. He was still standing behind him, and Jake had to hit the turf.
That's one of those plays. Jake just standing there holding the ball out. One of the Central Methodist linemen could have grabbed that ball.
So there was a mix-up between Taylor and Bridges. Somebody got the wrong play. So it's 2nd and 15.
Let's see if Jake airs it out here.
Vikings send 2 wide receivers, both right and left. Empty backfield for Bridges, standing at his own 45, the CMU 45-yard line, right hash mark. Takes the snap, rolls to his left. Now looks, turns, throws it as far as he can, trying to get it to Matthews, and it's incomplete. Matthews had double coverage back there. Roger White and Eric Mays were both back there. It's 3rd and 15.
Yeah, that's one of those plays you just send one guy out in the pattern. It's do or die, and he was well covered by the Eagles. So big 3rd down, 3rd and 15 for the Vikings. So, boy, you like to think they'd take advantage of this field position. Start out at the 34-yard line, and now we're back around the 40.
Have to get to the 24 to pick up a 1st down. Bridges. Hard count. Trying to see if the CMU Eagles would move. The Eagles on this play have 3 down linemen in 3-point stance. Bridges scrambles away, throws it down the sideline. Stannard makes the catch, backpedaling inside the 5, and he's down at the 2-yard line, 1st and goal. Penalty flag. Well, is there? Let's see. He's coming back.
Jake's mad about something. Yeah, Jake Bridges is upset out there.
Well, again, for the 2nd time, Josh Murtaugh is downfield. Too early, and that one's coming back.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if he thought Jake was going to take off and run. But that one is coming back, and it's going to be 3rd and 20. What a catch by Stannard, backpedaling inside the 5.
One thing you got to learn about Jake Bridges, anything is possible. He might throw it at any time. He might tuck it and run at any time.
You better stay there and block for him. Yeah, don't take off downfield, and Josh has done that twice now. So it's 3rd and 20. Ball backed up at the 45. Give it another shot. Bridges rolls to his left, rushes on. Now he scrambles back to the right. He's being chased. And he's going to throw it out of bounds on the sideline.
A lot of pressure that time.
And again, they were coming after him, and he didn't have much protection. It'll be 4th down, and Higgins in to punt it away. Well, that wasn't a very good offensive series. You got great field position, a couple of penalties, and next thing you know, you're punting. Eagles don't have anybody back deep.
Yeah, they got somebody dropping back now.
Let's see if Higgins is just going to belt this one, or if he's going to try to kick it inside the 10. DeMonte Allen back deep. Higgins stands at his own 40. Yeah, he kind of pooches this one end over end. It's going to bounce inside the 10, and it will be down at the 4 by Elton Taylor. Nice punt by Higgins. He's gave that about a half leg, if you will, and it was perfect.
You know, and I tell you what, you talk about Drake Higgins, you say he leads the nation in punting. You just see him getting more and more confidence back there. I mean, you know, when you've got stats like that, that would help breed self-confidence, I would think.
That was a nice punt. I'll tell you, it hit and just bounced straight up in the air. And
about
with
the 5-yard line.
With that wind at his back, you thought what he wanted to do was just belt it and see how far he could go. But good job. So the Eagles take over at their own 5. First down for Bedford, and they will keep it on the ground to Alexander, and he gets a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Not much there. Vikings have really stuffed this CMU offense. Joe, they had the one drive where they picked up the 3 first downs, and that really has been it.
Yeah, Valley's been very, very stingy all night long, all afternoon long, and
going into this very stiff breeze. 2nd down and 9. Bedford in the end zone, throws it down the sideline. It is caught, I believe, over the shoulder, back shoulder catch, or was he out of bounds? Let's see. Incomplete. The officials got together, ruled it an incomplete pass. Nice attempt over there, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, good. Dedrick Allen was right in his face when Bedford let go of that ball, and Dedrick coming off that right side, and I think Bedford had to launch it before he wanted to. So big 3rd down play coming in now, 3rd down and about 9.
Sims was the intended receiver, and as he caught it, his backside was on the white stripe on the sideline. So it's 3rd and 9 from the 5. Here comes the rush. He's hit as he throws. It's incomplete. Trying to get that one over the middle to DeMonte Allen, and it'll be 4th down. And the Vikes have forced another 3 and out.
I think Joseph Trout got a hand on that pass. Joseph playing that linebacker spot got up, and that time, Ken, Chris Collins, the junior defensive back, in the lineup for the Vikings.
So Hampton will be back to punt it away again. He'll be standing at the back of the end zone. And Jakari comes all the way up to the CMU 36-yard line.
I think maybe Dakota Collins, he's talking to Coach Paul Troth. Maybe Dakota's going to get a series on the offensive side right now.
This defense is really playing well right now. Here comes the rush. They're going to get it away. That's going to the sideline, and that's going out. The line of scrimmage was the 5, and let's see where they're going to mark this.
That's the 22.
22. Like. Yep. So once again, not much on that punt. About 17-yard net punt. Have to take advantage of it.
Central Methodist saying, now when are we going to get that wind at our back?
Yeah. Well, let's see. Dakota's coming out. Good call, Joe. Yeah. As Dakota Collins is going to come out and lead the show.
Well, I saw him down in the bullpen a little while ago. Now we might mention Dakota's come off the bench the last 2 weeks and her last 2 games and thrown a touchdown in both games.
He has 3 touchdown passes on the season, 19 out of 37. So 1st down from the First down from the 27. They give it off to Sanford. Kenny bouncing to the right side, breaking one tackle, breaks another one. Now the white jerseys get there, but not before he's inside the 20, all the way down to the 17-yard line. He ends up back at the 26. Forward progress is at the 20 or at the 16.
Well, you talk about defensive dominance. The last two Viking drives have started at the Central Methodist 34 and this one at the 22. So really need to cash in on this one.
Need to get in there just to put this thing away. It's 24-0. You feel good about it, but get another one. Collins is in the QB. Sanford behind him. That was a gain of 6. Second down and 4. Collins turns, hands it to Kenny up the middle. Kenny bounces to the outside, now stretches the ball forward inside the 15, and it'll be third and about 2.
Kenny ran into the back of one of his linemen that time, one of the linemen trying to get out and pull, but he, got down where it's a makeable third down. Third, like you said, 3rd and 2, ball at the, looks like right about the 15-yard line.
As Stevenson Lewis made that tackle, 5'9", 228 junior out of Avon Park, Florida. So it's third down. They need 3 to pick up a first down. Vikings have dominated this third quarter, but no points in the third quarter, leading 24-0.
Time for Dakota to throw his touchdown pass.
There he goes. He threw 2 to mention last week. They're going to keep it on the ground. Sanford fights for a first down, now bounces to the outside. He's to the 10. Did he get the first down? I think so. They're going to mark him at the 11. There was nothing up the middle, so he just spun, turned to his left, got to the 11. That's enough for a first down for the Vikings. It's 5:25, all that remains in this third quarter.
Yeah, that was a gain of about 4 on the play. He needed 3, so that is a first down. So Vikes are going to mark it right at the 11-yard line. So 5 1/4 left to play in the third quarter. 24-0. It's been all Missouri Valley here this afternoon.
Vikings working from the left hash mark. Boy, time of possession has really dominated that. And they're dominating the statistic that counts, that one on the board. Here's Sanford, gets to the 10, running to his right. Boy, he's hit hard there. It'll be second down and 9.
Well, Central Methodist getting a steady diet of Kenny Sanford right now, and why not? It's working pretty well.
Game next week at Evangel starts at 1:30, so we'll be on the air at 1 o'clock on KMMO Marshall and also on moval.edu.
That'll be good. That should be a very competitive games. Evangel's played well this year.
Second down and 9 from the 10-yard line. Collins is yet to pass on this series. He will here. Throws, and he gets it to Mo Anglin. Big Mo with the catch and is run out of bounds at the 6. It'll be third down and 4.
Okay, here comes Collins' touchdown pass right here.
The third down and 4.
Elton Taylor coming in, also coming into the Viking lineup at the tight end position, Jonko Barras.
So let's see what the Vikes can do on third down. They have to get to the 2 for a first down. Clock is moving, 4:10 to go, third quarter. Vikings dominating play. But again, this game is not out of reach. Collins, Taylor in the backfield with him. Here comes the blitz. They pitch it to Taylor. Taylor running to his right. He gets by one tackler. Now he's going to be hit and shoved out of bounds. Ooh, that was close to a late hit, but probably a good no call. And it'll be fourth down and 2. They gave it off to Taylor. Taylor trying to run to his right. And it's fourth down and 2. And let's see if Coach is going to go for it.
I think they're going to go for it here, it looks like to me. Coach Paul Trott looking at the clipboard. And he's sending Jakari Johnson and also coming into the Viking lineup, Mike Flores coming in at the tight end position. So Mike's going to go for it here on 4th and 2 with 3:41 to play in the third.
Why not? Even if you don't make it, you keep them way down in their own end of the field late third quarter.
Going to let Dakota, he's got an empty backfield, so he's going to try to create something himself, it looks like.
Sends Flores in motion from right to left. Now he stops, goes back to the right. Here's the pass over the middle. It's Khalil Smith can't come up with it, and for the second time down here, the Vikings fail to score.
Yeah, that was a good defensive play that time. That was, looked like Eric Mays, free safety out of Marshall, Missouri, I think.
Yep. Yeah, out of Marshall.
Eric out of Marshall, yep. And Eric was there to knock that one away. So nice defensive play that time. And so the Vikings once again come up empty-handed. They start the drive at the 22 and come up short.
Yeah, and that's the difficult part. I'm sure that's one thing they'll work on. You get inside that red zone, you need points. I don't care who you're playing against. And That's 2 drives in a row inside the red zone. The Vikings have come up empty. Now, in all fairness, they could have kicked what would have been a chip shot field goal, but Johnson missed one of those today as well. So the Eagles have it again inside their own 5-yard line. There's Bedford standing in that purple end zone. Rolls to his left, throws it. It is caught across the 15 out to the 17-yard line by Sims, and that's enough for a first down.
Aaron Ross, a junior defensive back there in coverage for the Vikes, but a good throw that time by Bedford and a good job by Sims hanging on to the ball.
So it is 1st and 10. They get a little breathing room out to the 17-yard line. Sims back, or Bedford back to throw to the sideline. This one is caught at the 27-yard line. Kirk on the tackle. Catch is made by Garrett Evans, and the Eagles starting to move the ball through the air.
Yeah, a little out pattern that time. Bedford had a lot of mustard on that one. Kirk, pretty good coverage, but the ball was right there for a completed pass, and a gain, looks like a gain of about 8 on the play.
Second down and 2. Bedford over the middle again. This one is caught by Marcus Whiteside. That's a first down at the 38, and here come the Eagles.
Yeah, the Eagles moving the ball more than they have for a good part of the day. Daniel Williams, freshman defensive back, made the stop on that last play for the Vikings.
So first down, their own 38-yard line. 2:19 and counting here in the third quarter. 24-0 Valley. 3-man rush coming for the Vikings as Bedford waits the snap. Rolls to his left. Pumps once, throws, and is caught at midfield. Another first down. Good throw, good catch by Getting, and it's a first down.
I'm not sure.
Excuse me, Garrett Evans.
You know, and Bedford has really thrown more balls in this drive than he has the entire game, I think.
A first down at midfield, so they're almost in their hurry-up offense, and it's successful. They've moved from the 3-yard line to midfield. Back to throw, Bedford being chased out of the pocket. He'll throw it up for grabs. It's incomplete. The only receiver even close to that area was DeMonte Allen. There were 4 Vikings back there at 2nd and 10.
Yeah, pretty good coverage that time by Chris Collins. He was the guy closest to the ball, like you said, 3 or 4 Vikings back. But pick up a 2nd down and 10. 1:39 to go in the third. Missouri Valley leads at 24-0. That was the score at halftime. So Vikes have dominated the third quarter, but really haven't come up with anything.
2nd down. Ball left hash mark, right at midfield. They want to run the ball this time, and whoa, what a hit. Whoo, what a hit on Tevin Reed. He got about 3 yards and was drilled.
I think that was Kyle Brady, wasn't it?
I think so, too. Oh, my goodness.
Kyle Brady came up in that safety position. I mean, you talk about ringing a man's bell. That's exactly what happened that time.
What a shot.
Kyle, again, is a freshman out of O'Fallon.
He said, that felt good. I mean, that play came to a halt in a hurry. 3rd down and 7.
Bedford blitz.
Now Vikes show blitz, so they're going to run the football and pick up a first down. The Vikings were coming with the all-out blitz. They handed it off to Alexander, and he has a first down.
Good call that time by Central Methodist. The Vikings showed all-out blitz. They had about 8 guys up on the line of scrimmage, and Central Methodist chose to call a running play, and it was a big one all the way down to the 35-yard line. So the Eagles have come all the way from their own 2 to the Viking 35.
And they showed no signs of life, but the Vikings, again, 2 drives inside the red zone, came up empty, and that gave this Eagle team a little confidence. Back to throw again. They're going to throw it to the outside, and a very short gain. Dedrick Allen was in on the play as they swung that one to the outside to Burren Bell, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now the sun's out. It looks like a little nicer than it was when the game started, at least temperature-wise.
30 seconds to go in the third quarter, 24-0 Valley, with the Eagles driving. Allen after him. Can't get to him, and now he is going to be sacked by Campbell, and that'll be intentional grounding.
Yeah. Both Dedrick Allen and Miles Campbell into the backfield that time, and Campbell finally got to him.
Well, there is a flag down back at the 45-yard line. The Eagles are going to say that he was out of the tackle box, but no.
He was right behind probably right behind the offensive guard position.
Nate Chitwood had nothing to do with that, and that's intentional grounding. Good play by the Vikings.
You and I could have called that one.
And I'm not sure the ball got back to the line of scrimmage anyway.
And there wasn't anybody close to being in the neighborhood.
No. So it's third down, back at the 44-yard line. Vikes want to stop this Eagle team and get the ball back.
3rd and a mile.
They have to get all the way to the 25-yard line. Bedford back to throw it. Launches it to the sideline, overthrown and almost intercepted. It'll be 4th down. And that was Kirk again. He's all over the place today. Jake Kirk, young man out of St. Louis.
Have you ever heard of that 3rd and a mile? Remember Pepper Rogers, coach of the Kansas Jayhawks? When Jim Ryan, the all-world-class miler, was at KU, some of the fans said, Coach, you could use another wide receiver. You ever think about using Ryan, maybe putting him out there? And Pepper looked at him and said, if I ever have 3rd and a mile, I might think about it.
And the way KU football is today, they may have that. 12 seconds to go in the quarter. Be fun tomorrow as KU and MU play an exhibition at the Sprint Center. It's sold out. Hampton will punt, the little rugby-style punt. And this is a little better.
Good one that time.
And Jakari makes the fair catch at the 15-yard line. So that's where the Vikings will take over. They have 6 seconds with which to work here in the 3rd quarter.
And Jakari caught that ball right around his shoe tops. I mean, that's a tough catch. You wonder about that MU-KU scrimmage. Will they play it like a game? Will they play it like a scrimmage where everybody gets to play and you try a bunch of stuff? I don't know.
Be kind of interesting. And all the money going to charity, so that's why they're able to do it. It'll be on radio stations, but no TV coverage, just on radio stations.
Very good cause.
The ball is at the 17. Vikings up 24-0. Nice drive by the Eagles, but they come up empty.
Well, maybe we can go 85 yards easier than we can go 35.
Maybe. Jake Bridges back into the contest, and he'll hand it off to Elton Taylor, and he stood up and hit hard at about the 17. He got a few yards, and boy, did he get rocked. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. Vikings in control, 24-0, looking to go 4-4 on the year and looking for their 13th straight win over CMU. We're back with the 4th quarter in 1 minute.
This is David Kane of the Kane Insurance Agency in Carrollton. As an independent agent, we continue to add new companies and coverages to make sure our customers have the best available choices for all their insurance needs, whether that's crop insurance, auto, home, farm, or commercial. We have access to several farm insurance companies and can write an entire farm policy or just the grain truck your current carrier doesn't want. If you haven't reviewed your policy recently, stop by or give us a call. Quotes are free and could save you money. At the Kane Insurance Agency, you get quality coverage at the best rate.
The Oktoberfest celebration is going on at CNR Market, your friendly low-price leader, with choice certified Angus beef, top sirloin steaks, $3.98 a pound. All-natural Smithfield Prime boneless pork sirloin roast, $1.48 a pound. Dole golden ripe bananas, 48 cents a pound. New crop Washington apples, only 98 cents a pound. And check out our 5 for $5 sale. Hundreds of items, 5 for $5. And check out what you can get free with your CNR Rewards card. From everyone at CNR Markets, we hope to see you soon at CNR.
Well, as we start the 4th quarter, Jake Bridges rolling to his right. Nobody open and very little protection, and he has to run out of bounds. So it's quickly 3rd down. 3rd down and 14. So this Viking offense, kind of like last week, Joe, in the 3rd quarter and part of the 4th quarter, just really stagnant.
Yeah, when you dominate like the Vikes did that 3rd quarter, you want to come away with something, and they didn't, I guess you could say, really didn't need the points, but it'd been nice to have had them.
So it's 24-0, 3rd down and 14. Have to get out to the 27 to pick up a 1st down. Jake stays in the pocket, throws it. It is caught. Good catch by Khalil Smith, fighting for 1st down yardage, and he has it at the 30-yard line. Over the middle, Khalil went up, made the grab, and it's a 1st down at the 30.
Ken, usually those receivers know when they catch a pass over the middle, they're going to get their bell rung, and that time Khalil stretched out. He had to go up high to get that pass. It was fully extended, but the young man went up and made the catch, and again, Khalil's a sophomore out of St. Louis, so a big connection, Bridges to Khalil to keep the drive alive. First 10 Vikings at the 30-yard line.
Eldon Taylor in the backfield along with Bridges. And he's going to get the football. Number 14 is hit after a loss of a yard. He didn't get back to the line of scrimmage. In fact, he'll lose 2 yards.
3 guys right on Elton that time. Yeah, and he gets up a little slowly, but I think he's okay.
Just underway in the fourth quarter. Valley in control, 24-0, looking to go 4-4 on the season. And CMU 1-6 right now and in danger of losing their 7th straight, but still a lot of time.
And CMU, I know, still has Baker in Mid-America to play, and I guess Avila.
So it is second down, and let's call it 13 from the 27. Bridges looks to his right, throws it to the sideline in traffic, and it's caught by Stenard at the 40-yard line. That's what we're used to seeing out of the young man from Daytona Beach. In traffic, hanging on at the 40-yard line. That's enough for a first down.
That was a perfect pass by Jake Bridges, because Central Methodist had 3 different defenders in coverage that time. And, I mean, Jake put it right there, and Dorian, knowing he was going to get a hit, held on. So a couple of nice completions, one to Khalil Smith, and then that one to Dorian Stenard to give the Vikes a couple of straight first downs.
So Stenard picks up the first down at the 40. Taylor stays in the backfield with Bridges. And they give it to him. Eldon, little stutter step, gets across the 45 and tries to crawl to midfield. They won't allow that. They'll mark him back at the 47, but a gain of 7.
You know, one thing you see, Ken, Elton Taylor starting to get more and more carries as the season goes on. I think Coach Troth and the Viking coaching staff getting more and more confident in his ability.
And Kenny Sanford a little break. Second down. Vikings have to get to midfield to pick up a first down. 15 on that play clock. 12-16 to go in the game.
Vikes holding that chart down there with numbers on it to signify what play is going to be run.
Second down. Here's the pass to the sideline. Jakari. Oh, he was trying to make a move as he made a spin move to get by his defender. Slipped and went down at the 49. If he was in the NFL, he could have got up and ran again, but you can't in college, so it's 3rd and 1.
What a great move. The defender did fall down, but so did Jakari.
You talk about that numbers board they're holding. That is big Cornelius Dixon, Big Jake. He played offensive tackle for the Vikings a few years ago. He's a big man, and he has a couple of rings from the Arizona Rattlers of the Indoor Arena Football League.
So you think when they look to the side, they're able to find him.
They can find Cornelius Dixon. Call him Big Jake. 3rd down in the yard, and now the Vikes will use a timeout as Bridges didn't like the look. So we'll step aside as well. It's all Vikings, 24-0. We're in the fourth quarter. We'll be right back. It'll be 3rd down and 1 for the Vikings at their own 49-yard line, leading this one 24-0. Joe, it would almost be amazing if the Vikings win this game. As you look at the record between these two, 50 wins for Valley, 3 for CMU, and 1 tie.
Yeah,
if the Vikings can win.
And Central's had some good teams. I mean, they've had some good teams down there.
And there have been some games that have been very close where the Vikings seem to come out on top. Here is Taylor. Small hole up the middle, breaks the tackle. Another one, stays on his feet. Now they say the knee was down at the 38-yard line of CMU. So the Vikes get another first down on this drive.
And that was a touchdown-saving tackle that time by Eric Mays, the Marshall product. Eric got him down around the ankles and brought him down. Otherwise, that had been a touchdown. Eric's made a couple nice tackles. He's a former Marshall Owl player.
Yet in soccer, women were leading Mount Mercy 3-0 at the half. The men's team will play after that. And tonight, if you're in the area, women's volleyball, Graceland will be in town. That match starts at 7 at the Burns Center. First down. Taylor finds a hole right side. A good, strong hit by the young man. Gets all the way to the 30. And boy, the guys in purple on the sideline appreciate that hard run.
Yeah, and that time Taylor bounced off a tackle. He avoided one tackle. Then finally he was drugged down by number 44, and that's Quindon Brown, the very good linebacker for Central Methodist. But Eldon gets it all the way down to the 30. A gain of about 8 on the play. Let's call it 2nd down and 2.
And you could hear that one up here. So 2nd down and 8, or 2nd down and 2 after the 8-yard gain. Ball at the 30-yard line of CMU. Again, it's Taylor. He's hit and will go down and lose half a yard. It'll be 3rd and 2.5, and Kenny Sanford comes back in.
Yeah, good tackle that time by Travis Burris, the linebacker out of Jeff City. So big 3rd down play coming up for the Vikes, and need to convert on some of these.
Yeah.
3rd down at about 3 right now.
Yeah, you're not just talking about today's game. You're talking about, the next 3 games. The Vikings are going to run into some pretty stiff competition. They will with Evangel, Baker, and Mid-American Nazarene, so you need to score when you get in that red zone.
Yeah, when you got a scoring opportunity against a good team, you've got to cash in.
3rd down and 3. Jake with the empty backfield from the 31-yard line. Takes the snap, quarterback draw. He bounces to the right side, got the first down, stays on his feet, breaks a tackle at the 20, and Brown finally gets him down at the 15-yard line. Getting him down was Darius Hinton, but it's a first down.
Yeah, and once again, Jake Bridges does what he does so well, creates something on his own. And that time he had a quarterback run play, a draw, and there was no hole up the middle. So Jake scooted to the outside, got around the corner, and got it all the way down into the red zone inside the 20. And they're going to mark it right about the 15, looks like, with 9:07 left in the game. It's 24-0 Vikings.
Now, again, the Vikes in control, but one more touchdown obviously pretty much put us away. But you want to get some things going when you get down here. Here's Stanford's Kenny looking for a small hole on that left side. Gets to the 14, just a gain of a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
And this time it's not so much about the points as it is about finishing the drive.
Yes, I agree. This is the 3rd time in this half the Vikings have been inside the CMU red zone, and so far nothing to show for it. Mo Anglin checks in instead of Janko Barras. Probably a little better pass catcher.
Elton Taylor back in at the running back position.
So 2nd down and 9 from the 14. Bridges, that hard count. Now he takes a look over to the sideline, waits for the snap, gets it, gives it off to Taylor. Taylor hit room. Right at the 9.
Not much room
Nothing there. Give him a yard. Here comes 3rd and 8. Clock is moving, but again, you want some production out of these red zone visits.
Yeah, I need to convert on 3rd down. This is a big one. Let's see. Jake last time on 3rd down created something and got to the outside to pick up the first down. Let's see what they dial up this time.
3rd down and 9. Not much gain on either one of those running plays.
I'd say Austin Johnson is in field goal range, but we'd like to see a touchdown here.
See some of the Valley volleyball girls down below us. They again play at Grayson at 7 tonight. 3rd down from the 14. Empty backfield. Bridges throws. He gets it to Stenard. Dorian comes across the middle and races all the way to the right side and into the end zone for the touchdown. He started on the left, caught the ball over the middle, just kept running to the right side and gets into the end zone. Nice play call. Nice play.
Yeah, and that kind of a delayed play. Looked like almost like some kind of a middle screen that time as Stenard cut right into the middle, and Dorian did a very good job of running after the catch that time, and he takes it into the end zone. That's a 13-yard touchdown pass.
For Stenard, his 3rd touchdown of the year. And the Vikes up 30-0 now.
14-play drive that time.
That's
the Vikings go 84 yards. That's good to see.
Yeah, 84-yard drive. Well, you called it. You said, well, we can't go. They can't score from 35 yards. Now let's try 84.
Yeah, you just didn't have enough room to operate.
There's a flag down on the extra point attempt. It's 30-0. So they move this one back 5 yards, and Johnson will have to work on this one. Good play by Dorian Stenard. Good catch, good run after the catch.
Well, and good to see Jake Bridges come up with 2 big plays on 2 straight 3rd down situations.
So the Vikes are backed up 5 for this extra point attempt by Johnson. And this one is on the way, and he got it.
Yep.
So the Vikes lead 31-0 as we're in the 4th quarter. We're coming back with a kickoff in 30 seconds.
Living well is important to our health. If you have a medical problem, go to Live Well Community Health Centers in Buckner, Carrollton, Concordia, and Waverly. Whether it's diabetes, wellness, mental health, or even dental care, Live Well Community Health Centers are there for you. If you currently have no insurance, ask about their sliding fee model. The Live Well Community Health Centers are part of HCC of Roll, Missouri. For more information, go to livewellcenters.org or to contact a clinic near you, call 1-877-344-3572.
Well, next week at our halftime, we'll try to talk to both basketball coaches. You ready for Halloween basketball? William Wood.
Well, it's hard to believe it's here already.
Yep. Basketball season is here, is upon us. Or will be in a week. The sun comes out as Johnson kicks this high and short, and it'll be taken. And I think a fair catch was called for.
Yeah.
I believe that Alexander raised up the right arm as a fair catch.
Well, that ball hung in the air a long time, so you could see a guy signaling for a fair catch. It was a pretty short punt or pretty short kickoff into that wind. So I guess that is the call. We'll see.
Either a fair catch
or a knee. I don't think a knee went down.
Yeah, he kind of. I don't think so. I don't think a knee went down either. I believe he called for the fair catch. It wasn't much of a wave of that right arm, but the official said fair catch.
But you know, as short as that ball was and as high as as long as it hung in the air, that's something you would think about.
So the ball's at the 21-yard line. And that's where the Eagles will take over. Wind at their back, trying to put some points on the board. The outcome of the game is probably not in doubt now. 31-0.
Keith Harris in the game for the Vikes at one of those linebacker positions.
Bedford rolling to his right, throwing deep downfield, and Davon Henry had his hands on it. Pass was overthrown. Davon couldn't come up with what have been his third interception of the year, and it's 2nd and 10.
I'll tell you, Bedford's got an arm. He fired that ball. It had a lot of steam behind it.
I remember from last year, he would throw that ball long ways.
Ken Gerald Payout, I don't know if I pronounced that right. Payout, the freshman linebacker out of Miami, Florida, into the lineup for the Vikings.
2nd down and 10. Again, rolling to his right, flag stops play, and that's going to be a procedure penalty on the Eagles.
Yep.
So it'll be 2nd down and 15, and this will march it back to the 15-yard line. So the Vikings, it appears, will have their 13th straight win over CMU, and the series record will go to 53-1. 50 wins, 3 losses, and a tie in favor of Valley. 2nd and 15, Bedford throws. He completes this one for about a 5 or 6 yard gain to DeMonte Allen. Vikings pursue and grab him at the 27. It'll be 3rd down and 4. 7:16 remaining.
Taylor Palade made that last stop for the Vikings.
The CMU trying to get some points on the board today. Don't want that shutout. They give up 41 a game. Here's 3rd down. Here's the throw. Good throw. Good catch. 1st down and more. And that's Sims. Gets all the way outside the right hash mark to the 44-yard line for a 1st down.
And I tell you, did Bedford zing that ball in there or what? He's got a cannon. Hasn't really thrown. He started to throw a lot here in the second half, but boy, how many passes did he throw in the first
10.
half? It
was 3 out of 10.
10, okay. I didn't think he threw that many.
1st down at the 44-yard line. Bedford back to throw again. To the side. It is caught, or is it incomplete? Now, 2 officials ruled that ball skipped. Garrett Evans not getting the completion. It'll be 2nd and 10. Ball at the 44-yard line.
Well, again, you're looking ahead in the schedule. The Vikes will be in Springfield, or I guess in Ozark, to play Evangel next week, and then Baker here in 2 weeks, and then wrap up the season in 3 weeks on the road at Mid-America.
2nd down and 10. Pocket collapsing. The ball is lost. It's loose and picked up by whom? The Vikings have it, I believe, and I'm going to give the fumble. I don't know who recovered, but it was
Kilgore was there.
Yeah. Vikai Burnley was the one that may have caused the fumble, and Kilgore picked it up.
Yeah.
Mikai was there and kind of forced it from behind. Good job.
Yeah, good job by the Vikings. Defense, I tell you got to give kudos to the defense.
Yes.
One of their best efforts of the year by far.
Vikes up 31-0. And Dakota Collins back in. Jake threw that last touchdown pass.
Well, Dakota's still got to get his weekly TD toss. He's done it the last 2 games.
31-0. Vikings with the lead. Stanford stays in the backfield, and they give him the ball running to the left. He tries that burst, and he is shoved out of bounds. Boy, he was just trying to get into the second gear, and he was hit hard. Good play. It'll be second down.
And the defensive back kind of rode him right out of bounds. It's pretty good clean hit, good aggressive hit. And that tackle that time was made over there by Roger White, who's a sophomore out of Columbia, free safety.
So it is second down and 8. Yeah, I thought that play was going to pick up more than that. White played his high school ball at Battle High School in Columbia.
Mike Flores back in the game at tight end for the Vikings.
Second down and 8. Collins down the sideline for Stenard, and he was unable to catch up with it. One-on-one down that sideline.
Dorian had a step.
Yeah, Bellinger on the coverage. Dorian had a step, but the pass, not quite enough air under it, and it'll be third down at 8 from the 38.
You mentioned Columbia Battle. They're in line to face Smith Cotton in a district championship game in a couple weeks. Both will have to win. I think they'll have to beat Raytown, and Smith Cotton would have to beat Belton this week. But if that happens, those two teams would play in 2 weeks down in Sedalia.
Third down and 8, 38-yard line. Collins waits for the snap, gets it. Rolls to his right, now steps up. Throws it deep, and Matthews cannot catch up with it. BJ was hustling down that right sideline and just couldn't come up with it. There is a flag down at the far side of the field at the CMU 34.
I tell you, Ken, Dakota Collins threw that ball a long way into that wind that time. I mean, that wind's blowing pretty stiff, and he put quite a bit of air under it and put it out there quite a ways.
Another illegal receiver downfield. That's the third time that's been called on Valley today. 4th time? Wow.
Yeah, that's
a penalty you don't have called that much.
Maybe twice in a season.
So it's 4th down and 8, and the Vikings going to go for it here.
Well, we're going to send those guys downfield. We got to start throwing to them.
Yeah. 4th down and 8. Vikes will go for it from the CMU 38-yard line. Collins surveys, throws in double coverage, and overthrows Stenard, and the Eagles will take over. 5:45 to go. It's 31-0. So the Eagles are going to take over. Now, if there was a real tight game, you might have punted that ball, but give Dakota Collins some reps there. The Eagles will take over at their own 38-yard line, trailing 31-0. This Eagle team averages 18 points a game. They give up 41.7 a game. Vikings came in averaging 27 points a game.
And I'm not sure with the Eagles, what's their deepest penetration been today? They've gotten into Viking territory. They have not been in the red zone, I don't think.
I don't believe so.
And Viking defense has really been pretty dominant this afternoon.
First down at the 38, their own 38.
I say that, they'll probably go 65 yards and score.
Here's Bedford looking right now, throws that over the middle. That pass is caught, and that's about a 10-yard gain to Ronald McLean, a fullback. That's a first down. He's out of Fayetteville, North Carolina.
One of the Vikings slow to get up. Let's see who that is. I can't tell right now.
Right at midfield. So let's step aside. 31-0 Vikes. 5:37 to go. Our fine sponsors include Community Bank of Marshall, Blackburn, Multiben, Waverly, and Sweet Springs, Central Missouri Agri-Service, and Marshall Service Company in Marshall. Let's hear from one of those fine sponsors. We're back in 30 seconds.
If you're clicking your heels together in search of a good healthcare solution, Katy Trail Community Health is a place to call home. No matter where you are, nor the state of your health, you need a place to call home for your medical needs. Katy Trail Community Health is a patient-centered medical home dedicated to your health. Clinic hours are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 5. Thursdays, the clinic is open late until 7. Walk-in appointments are available. Katy Trail Community Health at 1825 Atchison Avenue in Marshall, inside the Saline County Health Department.
Now that was the injured player for the Vikings, Kyle Brady, and Kyle's limping off the field, kind of holding his knee area there. Might have gotten kicked. stepped on or whatever. But he's walking out in his own pouch. So it's 1st and 10 after the completed pass over the middle, about the 49-yard line of the Eagles. They're trying to avoid the shutout. They have trips to the left side. Empty backfield. Bedford rolls to his left, throws it deep downfield. It is incomplete. He had the receiver turned around. Allen looked to the sideline, then had to turn, look back toward the goal to the field side, and it's incomplete at 2nd and 10. He does have a cannon on him.
He threw that one a long way, and that didn't have a lot of arch on it. It was pretty well a line drive pass.
So 2nd down and 10. Vikings will be 4-4 on the season, their 3rd win in a row.
But the Vikings still can win the Southern Division if they could knock off. You got 3 games left. You got to beat Evangel, then beat a very good Baker team in Mid-America. But it's certainly within the realm of possibility.
And that Baker game will be here in a couple of weeks. Here's the pass, and that is incomplete. As the receiver actually ran into the defender with Keith Harris, the receiver ran right into him.
Yeah, Keith didn't move. He just. You look at that and you think that's pass interference. If it was offensive interference.
Yeah. Keith didn't move at all. So it is 3rd down.
You watch that Chiefs-Oakland game the other night. In that final drive, there were offensive interference on about 5 straight plays, it looked like to me. They did call it once.
They don't call that very often. Usually the defender gets the break. Here's the handoff, and
good effort.
Good run by Alexander. He gets to the right side to the Viking 45. Another score in. Benedictine beat Culver today 52-7. So the 3 finals we have: Peru over William Penn 17-14. That was a big win for them. Baker rolled Avila 57-17, and Benedictine at home beat Culver 52-7.
Ken, I really feel like if Benedictine gets in, which they're on the way of doing it now, they could make some noise, and they've got a very strong offensive line. You got a good line, the good things are gonna happen.
4th down and 3. Eagles go for it, and they want to run the football and get the 1st down as they give it to Tevin Reed, the young man out of Memphis, and it's a 1st down at the Viking 39-yard line.
I talk about their penetration. This might be their deepest penetration of the game, one of their deepest penetrations of the game.
They mark the ball at the 39-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Eagles.
Central Methodist has shown some good things today. I thought defensively they played pretty well at times. They moved the ball well on the ground.
Just not enough consistency to move the football. So it's 1st down at the 39-yard line. Bedford waits the snap, backpedals to midfield, now swings it out.
Oh, wow.
The ball is dropped. It'll be incomplete. They swung it out to Reed, and he was popped immediately. Now he is down.
That was Devontae Wright that time, the freshman linebacker out of Lee's Summit. Boy, he hit Reed. That's twice today, once by Jay Kirk, and then that time by Devontae Wright, that the contact has been right at the time the ball got there, and 2 monster hits.
And Reed is still down, young man out of Memphis, 5'10", 187-pound senior.
And that was a clean hit.
Yep, clean hit. Yep. Did not hang on to the football, and don't blame him. So they are working with him now. The Eagles, again, will be 1-7 after today. The only team in the league without a victory is Culver Stockton.
I guess Central Methodist and Graceland had a wild game up in Lamona. I think Graceland won it in the closing seconds, I believe.
Well, I think CMU had the lead. I'm not sure how it all took place, but somehow Graceland got the ball and scored very late in the last few seconds, I believe, to win that one.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like Reed putting absolutely no weight on that right leg.
He's played a pretty good game for Central.
No, they just literally pick him up now and carry him off, as there is no using that right leg at all. So it's 2nd down and 10. Had he held on to the football, it would have been a 5-yard loss, but no way he's going to hang on after that hit.
Well, the Eagles want to find pay dirt here.
2nd down, Bedford back to throw. Rush coming up the middle. He throws it over the middle. A sliding catch is made at the 24-yard line by Garrett Evans. 1st down. So 3:54 to go. The Eagles have plenty of time.
Chris Collins checks into the lineup. defensive back position for the Vikings.
Bedford again, 3-step drop. Looking. He's going to take off with it. He's to the 30, makes a move, and is all the way down to the 12. Good move at the 30, then got to the 20-yard line and finally tripped up at the 12. First down for the Eagles. This is definitely their best position of the game.
Nice open field tackle by freshman Gerald Payout that time. But CMU knocking on the door.
Trying to get their first points of the day. Bedford throws to the side. It is incomplete. A little miscommunication there. As the receiver turned, the ball went to the pylon. Marcus Whiteside turned back to the inside, and the closest one to that was Davon.
Well,
Davon Henry.
Give the Vikings credit. Coach Monty Rose got some of his non-starters out there right now. Guys getting some valuable playing time. If they score, they score.
Yep. Second down. Oh, there's a penalty on the Vikings. It's been an offside or a hold. I did not see that, but it moves the ball to the 7. So it's first down and 5 at the 7-yard line. Bedford over the middle. Diving attempt is incomplete. Busy guy, Garen Evans. That one's incomplete. It's second down.
He almost made a great catch there.
He's been the favorite receiver for Bedford the last few attempts. Ball's at the 7-yard line. Now they'll run the football right up the middle. Alexander into the end zone. 7-yard run. The Eagles are on the board. 7-yard touchdown for Shadrach Alexander.
Yeah, and that's a 60, looks like a 62-yard drive. 11 plays.
So the Eagles are on the board, and they're going to go for 2 here. Everyone thought run. They gave it off to Alexander, and he got the touchdown. 31-6. Caleb Bedford waits the snap for the 2-point attempt. He's going to take off, and he will be hit. Did he get in? I believe he did. Well, let's see. No.
Nope, didn't make
Boy,
it.
I thought he did, but they said, nope, half-yard line. So the attempt for 2, no good on the run by Bedford, but the Eagles are on the board. It's 31-6. 3:14 to go. We're back with a kickoff in 30 seconds.
Today.
31-6. Vikings with the lead. They'll get the ball at least one more time. As the Eagles put a late touchdown on the board, but they're going to fall to 1-7. The Vikings are going to improve to 4-4. We'll have Coach Paul Troth on the field after the game.
All right, your Central Methodist, Ken, do you try an onside kick here, or do you just go ahead and bang it deep?
Yeah, we'll see what they want. I might try it.
Mike's got the good hands people in the game right now, the All-State people.
Let's just see if they're going to try it. Kicking it off is going to be Dylan Alderson. Here comes Alderson. Now they're going to just kind of pooch it. It hits one of the Vikings.
Nice play.
Good job.
That's one of the
See
ends,
who
I
that
think.
is.
It's 80-something. I didn't get the last.
Is that Barras?
Yeah, Barras made a nice play. He had hit his hands kind of tipped up in the air, and he brought it in. So that was a hard line drive kick, too.
Janko Barras makes the play. Yeah, hit him. He stayed with it. And the Eagles answered our question. They go for the onside kick. Vikings have it at the Eagle 48.
Well, I just asked that because it's academic. The Vikes are going to win, so you think, well, you're just going to go ahead and kick it deep. But, here's Central Methodist. They're still competing. They're still trying to do everything they can to get back in the game.
So the Vikes will take over at the 48-yard line. Taylor is the running back.
Collins, quarterback.
In the backfield with Dakota. Collins wears number 11. Sends Matthews in motion. They give it up the middle to Taylor. Taylor looking for a hole. Not much there. Helmet comes off, and he goes down at the CMU 46.
I tell you, Eld's taking some pretty good shots today. It's Central, they're a pretty hard-hitting team. I mean, they've brought it on defense.
So Taylor will have to leave for a play. Sanford is in. 3:06 and counting. This Vikings get a first down or so. This will be the end of this game. And you'll take a 31-6 win, your third in a row, and go to 4-4. The Eagles will go to 1-7. Best thing about the day for the Eagles are only 47 miles from home.
Yeah. Good rivalry between these two teams.
Second down and 8. Off it comes to Sanford. Kenny looking for a little running room, and he's inside the Eagle 45, down to the 43. Clock continuing to move. Under 3 minutes, about 2.5 to go now. Taylor right back in. On third down and 5. Again, you get a first down, you just about run off the clock here. 3rd and 5 from the 43-yard line. Three wide receivers off to the left side, 2 to the right. Collins with an empty backfield from the right hash mark. Looks right, now throws it to Stenard, and it's almost picked off. Stenard was between 2 defenders, but the pass was low, and getting the hands on it was Darius Hinton. He's a rover back, but he couldn't make the connection. It's 4th down and 5.
Mike's going to punt here, looks like.
I'll give Drake a chance to boom another one here.
You have to boom it into the wind. Under 2 minutes left to play. It's all Vikings, 31-6. Although Central Methodist, a nice drive, a nice 62-yard, 11-play scoring drive here the last time they had the ball.
Higgins standing back at the 41. Desimone will check in now. Those 3 blockers stand about 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And I'm not sure. Delay a game. Well, that's all right.
Well, maybe Dre, sometimes a punter wants 5 more yards where he can really boom it instead of trying to pooch it quite so much.
Vikings take a delay a game there.
Now Central Methodist, who they sending out? They're sending a whole nother unit out, it looks like. I'm sure they had their punt return team in earlier, but now they've got about 8 new bodies coming on the field.
DeMonte Allen back to receive this.
They're going to go for this one.
Yeah, Higgins stands at his own 37.
They're going after this one.
Here they come, and he takes his time, kicks a low, wobbly line drive, and it heads to the CMU sideline at the 22. That won't do anything for his average.
No. Central Methodist, they had like 8 guys right up in the box. They were going to try to knock that one down. The Vikes blocked 1 punt. Elton Taylor got one in the first half.
So the Eagles will take over, trailing 31-6, and we're down to 1:52. Again, 1 o'clock we'll be on the air on KMMO and moval.edu next Saturday. Pre-game, 1:30 kick from Ozark. So if you're heading down to the game, don't go to the public stadium in Springfield. You go to Ozark. A few more miles down 65 and
home of Lambert's, home of the Throwed Rolls.
There you go, and that's where they'll be playing. Here's Bedford, looks to his right now, throws over the middle. Ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage, incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. May have been Mikai who got a hand up there and tipped it.
One time we went to Lambert's, and you always need to pay attention there. I had a roll bounce off the side of my head.
Yeah.
Having Candy, one guy, she signaled for a roll, and the guy slung it sidearm, and I tried to dive out and get it. I couldn't reach it. Hit her right in the eye. So you got to be on your good
goggles.
Good food, but you got to be on your toes.
Wear your goggles. 2nd down and 10. High snap. Bedford's able to go up and get it. Now he's going to have to run, and he is going to be hit and dropped back at the 17-yard line. On the coverage there was John Brock, a defensive back.
Yeah, John Brock got in there, and give John credit for a sack that time, so he gets his name in the sack booklet.
And again, the Vikings had several sacks today, so if you have a ticket to this game, student ID, and you're at the game, you get a Big Mac. You buy one, get one free at the Marshall McDonald's through tomorrow evening.
3rd down and about 15 for Central.
Be their last gasp effort here. They're going to keep it on the ground on 3rd down, and that will just about do it. We're down to a minute.
Well, I'm going to head down. I'm going to head down to the AstroTurf, if that's okay.
That's all right. We'll have the coach on with us shortly after the game. To wrap this thing up, it'll be the 13th straight win for Missouri Valley over the CMU Eagles. Jakari back. He has a punt return. He got this whole thing started with a 59-yard punt return for a touchdown. Hampton will punt one last time. Regby Style takes it, runs a couple steps to his left, and this one is blocked. It's in the end zone. It may have been Taylor again, and he takes it in for a touchdown. How about that for a play? Taylor recovered it for the touchdown, the second block punt by the Vikings, and let's see if Taylor got that one as well. But it's 37-6. What a game for that young man. 2 block punts. And we take a look at the replay. I believe it was Taylor who got the block and then picked it up in the end zone. So Austin Johnson will attempt the extra point. And the Vikings, second block punt of the afternoon. This one a touchdown by Elton Taylor. Ball down, kick is on the way, and this one is up, and it is good. And Valley leads 38-6. Kickoff in 30 seconds. Well, I think the Vikings thought, okay, we'll win this one 31-6. But all of a sudden, a blocked punt, and Taylor picks it up in the end zone for a touchdown. What a game he's had. And the Vikes lead it 38-6. So they'll go to 4-4. Johnson into that stiff breeze. Nice high kicks. Going to be fielded at the 2. Back to the 10. 15. Out to the 25-yard line goes Sims. Quishon Sims returns it. High fives for Eldon Taylor all around. 23 seconds, all that remains of this one. And the Vikings will go to 4-4, and we'll head to Ozark next week to take on the Evangel Crusaders. 1:30 kick. We'll be on the air with our pregame at 1 o'clock. Eagles have it at their own 26-yard line. Only 23 seconds remaining. And if you're in the area tonight, women's volleyball, 7 o'clock. Graceland, the opponent. That's at the Burns Center. First down, Bedford. Wants to throw, rolls to his right. Going to launch it as far as he can. It is caught at the 18-yard line by Garrett Evans. Threw it right over the top of Jay Kirk. Kirk kind of slowed up. Evans did not. He's had a big second half. That'll help the stats. 14 seconds to go. Ball to 20-yard line. And showed off that arm by Bedford on that play. 25-yard line is where Bedford takes the snap. Throws into the corner of the end zone, and it's bobbled out of bounds. There was quite a bit of hand fighting going on. Evans, the intended receiver. It'll be second down, and that was the final play of the game. So the Vikings win it by the score of 38-6. We'll start the postgame show in 1 minute.
There's an Orange Opportunity sales event going on now at your local Kubota dealer. Get an M6 tractor with your choice of 4 models, all with Kubota clean diesel engines, IntelliShift transmissions, and more. Now get financing as low as 0% APR for up to 84 months. See your local Kubota dealer today, now through December 31st, 2017. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more information. See Marshall Service Company, 1714 Commerce Drive in Marshall, or call 886-3011. For welding or fabrication, call
Ernie, Bob, and Homie.
the muscle behind the madness at Heinzler Brothers in Marshall. These guys do it all. From a simple welding job to major repairs, call
Ernie, Bob, and Homie.
They may not be pretty, but they're witty and can design and make anything out of metal. Big or small, they weld it all. Steel to aluminum, drive lines to trailer hitches. If you need welding, call
Ernie, Bob, and Homie.
with Heinzler Brothers in Marshall, 886-7775.
Well, it all started with a 59-yard punt return by Jakari Johnson. He also had another touchdown catch in this ball game, 47 yards. And the Viking defense was pretty solid all afternoon as Valley rolls by Central Methodist. They were in control from the start, leading 24-0 at the half, and the final score again in this one is 38-6 as the Vikings won their third straight now, and they have improved to 4-4. And hey, in the South Division, they're still tied with Baker for first place in the division. The handshakes between the two teams done at midfield. And Coach Paul Troth will visit with his players for a few moments, and then Joe All will have that visit. The Vikings head to Springfield next week. A couple of the statistics for you. The Vikings had 339 yards of offense, 158 through the air, 181 on the ground. CMU 218, so they did a better job in the second half, 120 through the air in the second half, 98 yards rushing. For first downs, 20-13 for Missouri Valley. The Vikings 11 out of 18 on third down efficiency, and Jakari Johnson had that 59-yard punt return. The Vikings were penalized 7 times for 40 yards, and CMU was penalized 5 times for 40 yards. But the Vikings win this one. Kenny Sanford had 79 yards rushing, 67 for Elton Taylor, and he had a couple block punts and a touchdown off of one of those. Jake Bridges rushed for 31. Jakari Johnson had a touchdown, so did Dorian Stenard. Johnson, 7 receptions for 60 yards. Stenard, 4 receptions for 39, and he had his touchdown. Jake Bridges throwing the football was 17 out of 26, a couple of touchdowns, 155 yards, and Dakota Collins was 1 out of 6. So there you have some of these statistics. Let's take a break. When we come back, hopefully we'll have the coach. Joe will have a few comments with him. We'll do that in 1 minute. Viking Sports Network.
Being the family superhero is a tireless job, constantly defending against monsters in the closet and grass so tall it swallows small children. But who's there for them if you're not? Your local Shelter Insurance agent. With an insurance superhero sidekick, you can find a life insurance plan that helps provide a safety net for your family. Learn more at shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Find Shelter agents Russell Kirby in Slater, Terry Townsend in Marshall, or Troy Brockman in Concordia.
Water damage, smoke damage, mold remediation, or storm damage, Serpro in Columbia, Sedalia, and Marshall is ready to restore the beauty of your home or business when the unexpected happens. Since 1967, the certified staff has restored homes and businesses to pre-loss condition throughout mid-Missouri. Big jobs to small jobs will make the process less stressful. Serpro accepts most insurances and is the most trusted and experienced staff in the area. Available 24 hours a day for emergencies. Call 886-5194 for Serpro, and they'll make it like it never even happened. Franchises are independently owned and operated.
Well, the Vikings win this one today, again by the score of 38-6. And yes, it is official on that last block. It was by Eldon Taylor. So he had 2 blocks, one of them for a touchdown. So pretty good afternoon for that young man as well. As we mentioned, 339 yards of offense for the Vikings, 218 yards of offense for CMU. So the Vikings win this one by the score of 38-6. And Valley now goes to 4-4 on the season as they win their 3rd game in a row. Let's go down to the field, and Joe has the coach.
Okay, chatting now with Valley head coach Paul Troth. Coach, 38-6 win over your arch rival Central Methodist. You've won 3 games in a row now.
Yeah, I mean, it feels, good. I'm happy for our kids to put together a little bit of a string. We still got some tough ones left, of course, but to be at 2-0 in the South Division is setting. It's the only thing we can do, and real pleased. Thought we controlled the ball and the game in all 3 phases today, so that was good to see.
For the 2nd week in a row, lightning strikes quickly. Jakari Johnson, the first time you touch the ball, he takes a punt return to the house. 2 weeks in a row, something like that's happened.
Well, it's always good to get off to a fast start. And, yeah, when you can score points without your offense being on the field, that's a great thing. So, yeah, explosive play. Our special teams were outstanding today. Getting the punt return. Elton Taylor had 2 blocked punts and a touchdown. So when you get that kind of production out of your special teams, that's a good thing.
I thought maybe the story of the game, it's 7-0 with not that much time left in the first half. You reel off 17 points and take a 24-0 lead in at halftime.
Yeah, it did a good job there at the end, just, Max Mine, we got that points on the board right before half, which was good. We're young, we're still making mistakes, but, that definitely kind of put the game in our control for sure, and felt like that, like I said, as we controlled it the second half also.
I thought this might have been the most dominating performance by your defense all year.
Yeah, we had a shutout going until the very end, just the last few minutes, and so that was good to see, and that was, if they don't score, you don't lose, that old adage, so that was good.
Okay, we're 4-4. Next week on the road, go down and take Evangel, a team that's played pretty well most of the year.
Yeah, they're going to be tough, I'm sure. They're a good football team, and we'll have to be ready, so we'll come back, go to work on them this week, and go down and play.
Good job, Coach. We'll see you next week.
All right, thanks, Joe.
All right, thanks, Joe, and thanks, Coach. And, again, looking just to see if we have any other scores before we wrap things up. The Vikings win this one, so they now have a 3-game winning streak, and we will take on Evangel, and the game will be in Ozark next Saturday. We'll be on the air at 1 o'clock. Again, the scores we have today: Peru State beat William Penn 17-14. Baker over Avila 57-17. Benedictine beat Culver 52-7. And this one, Missouri Valley over Central 38-6. The 13th straight win for the Vikings over the CMU Eagles. For Joe All, I'm Ken Cuiava, Chaz Maddie, and his entire crew as well. Thanks for being with us as the Vikings win it. The Viking Sports Network is a production of the Missouri Valley College Mass Communications Department of the Division of Communications, Humanities, and Human Services. This broadcast, any retransmission or the use of the content of this broadcast without the express written consent of Missouri Valley College is prohibited. Transportation considerations provided by Elmer Hare Ford in Marshall. When we go on the road covering Valley athletic events, it's in a Ford from Elmer Hare Ford. For all our crew today, final score 38-6. Vikings win it over CMU. I'm Ken Cuiava. So long from Marshall.